welcome to the Super Cast Brothers! It's that Smash Brothers podcast where, Zantak, otherwise known as Lister, and Jono, otherwise known as John, talk about Smash and waste each other's time and yours for roughly an hour and a half to 2 hours to 3 to... What did we do last season? What was it, a 5-hour episode? Dear God, never again.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Dear God.
Yeah, never again, because we're going to hit 6 instead.
If it ever happened, if we ever get anywhere close to that, we're taking a break in the middle so we can fucking eat or use the toilet or something, because god damn.
If we ever do one that long, it's going to be in person in a professional recording studio setting with an audience.
I don't know. Looking at what we have up the slate next season, it might happen. It might happen. I sincerely hope it does not. But boy, looking at our upcoming slate,
Just thinking about something else up the pipeline that is happening as well that people are unaware of yet. May happen there.
Yeah, we're probably thinking the same thing.
Could easily be.
Yeah.
String cheese?
Golden Go?
Or maybe. Or why is there not a cat here?
Tasty.
Or like a monkey?
What?
I don't know.
What? How did you go from Goldingo to cat and monkey? Run me through this logic.
I don't know. It's just kind of what's been on my mind.
Cats and monkeys.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Just those
I know
like furry
what's
dudes.
really been on your mind. I know the real answer here. What's really been on your mind is Mwamba.
Wow. You just had to get ahead of it this time. Good for you. Good job.
Sometimes I steal it from you. Like when I stole Azurta in that one episode. And you're like, haha.
Yeah, what a guy. All the Xenoblade memes are shared union property here at Super Cast Brothers.
Not yet. I haven't played Xenoblade 1 yet. And neither of us have played Xenoblade X. So eventually...
True.
Eventually... I mean, I've seen Xenoblade 1. I just haven't played it. I own it.
Mm-hmm.
I just, I gotta get to... There's so many games. So little time.
I'm just waiting for Mwamba's spin-off.
I mean, how long did it take you to beat Xenoblade 3 again?
I don't know. Like 10 months?
Over a year.
Over a year? Was it?
Actually, no.
Well,
it released what? Last
July.
Okay, then yeah, okay. No, not quite a year. But pretty damn close.
Pretty damn close. It was 9 or 10 months.
Yeah, and you still haven't beat the DLC.
Yeah, if it makes you feel better, I'm also taking the same approach with Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh yeah, I'm just watching Tears of the Kingdom. I'm not playing it. I'm just watching it, and that's good enough for me.
The time sink is real, man.
Yeah,
the time sink is real. And I haven't time sunk in like over a month. I haven't played a single drop of that game. But the good news is that I know I'll set the time aside for Super Mario RPG. So
fuck yeah. I mean, this is part of why I like how I've started doing streaming. Is because I have dedicated 4 days every Saturday, or 4 days, 4 hours every Saturday and Sunday to play a game. And technically one of the games I played before. I'm going through the Battle Network Legacy Collection. But then the other day slot is just dedicated to new games.
Good thing.
You want to try saying that again there?
No. What?
Jono, for those of you who, well, I guess nobody would be aware of this, he's having internet issues today. Wind is apparently an arch enemy of the internet, so we might be dealing with Jono being a little glitchy today. But I mean, really, is that any different than how he is normally? Is it? I didn't think so. Sadly, I was kind of counting on him being back by this point, and now I don't know what to do. So I guess I'll just go ahead and explain what we're doing here today while he's out in the goddamn wilderness trying to fix his connection. But essentially, first of all, for those of you who are video watchers, you will notice that our videos are not on this episode because there is not room in the layout for them this time around. So we just got those little reactive profile images to tell you who's talking if you haven't figured out whose voice is what yet. If you're just an audio listener and you haven't figured out whose voice is what yet, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, you are goddamn right.
Yeah. Welcome back, by the way.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, we're recording in the midst of a great storm.
Yes, yes.
So,
But
yeah.
we are here. It's our final on topic of the season. As we established in season 2, these episodes we're doing some form of a roster game. In season 2, we had 25 different companies or categories, and we had to pick one character from each of those that we would add into Smash. Last season, we did the big old Thanos scheme where we cut the Smash Ultimate roster in half, and then we added, I think, 12 new characters to it after we mishmashed our rosters together. And this season, technically, we're doing a Smash roster. Technically, we're not. It's Super Smash Kart. It's an idea. Oh yes, it's an idea that people have been talking about pretty much ever since Link was added to Mario Kart 8. And then we also got the Animal Crossing Villager, Isabelle, Inkling. Is that all the crossover characters that are in Mario Kart 8? Am I forgetting anybody?
No.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. But the idea a lot of people have had is like, hey, what if Mario Kart? What?
Sorry, unless you count Rob in DS.
True. Rob was playable in DS, and there's also the Mario Kart arcade games that have Pac-Man and Mamachi and other related characters to that.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, so it's a fairly popular topic. People just like, hey, what if Mario Kart stops being Mario Kart and becomes a Nintendo Kart or a Super Smash Kart? And it just brings in all kinds of characters from the Nintendo franchises. And we said, you know what? It's a great idea, Buffalo Bob. Let's do an episode about it.
Was that the Game FAQs user that posted the Mario Kart Smash Kart roster? I mean, originally.
No? What?
Buffalo Bob,
No.
From the internet.
Originally, I was going to say something like Todd. And I was like, nah, it needs to be more than Todd. And then Buffalo came out of my mouth. And the next thing that started to come out was Bill. It's like, I cannot say Buffalo Bill. So let's pivot to Buffalo Bob because I've already started on the B's.
Nice.
Yeah.
Todd is Trevor's dad.
Todd works for Microsoft. No, Bethesda. Shit. Which one is it? That one guy. Don't you guys have phones?
What's the difference?
Big difference, Howard. Oh, God. Anywhoodle. So we sat down. We made our own 2 different rosters for a Super Smash Kart or Nintendo Kart, whatever you want to call it. And we decided we're gonna present them here and just talk about why we picked certain characters and maybe why we didn't pick other characters, if we have any thoughts on that. And then if time allows for it, we would like to talk about maybe some different tracks that could be in the game, or some battle courses, carts, some items. One thing that's going to be different about this episode compared to when we did the Thanos game is we are not combining our rosters this time around. We are just presenting our own separate rosters as our own different games. We're not going to do the great big debate and combine things together, because then there just won't be enough time to talk about anything else, and we kind of want to talk about other things.
Definitely. Yeah. So on the onset, I am excited about this, and what more can I say besides
Wahoo?
Tune in now for some great Smash Kart action. Can you give me a hell yeah?
Hell yeah!
Hell yeah! this is Stone Cold Jono here, and we're gonna get into Mario Kart stuff today in the Smash roster, yeah.
After I finish discussing the rules.
Hell yeah!
Hell yeah! So, as I mentioned, there were some rules that we set for ourselves. First of all, we set our roster cap at 50 characters each, because it's just a nice number. That's the only reason we did 50. If I did any other number, I probably would have said 64 because, Nintendo 64, Smash 64, Mario 64, it's just also a very nice number. But we didn't do that. We did 50. And then the other rule was no third-party characters for this one. Smash proper allows for it, but it would have been even more hell to narrow down these rosters if we include the likes of Sonic and Mega Man and whatnot. So we just didn't. This includes Pac-Man and the other characters that we related to Mamachi and whoever the hell all those are. Even though they have been in Mario Kart Arcade, Don-chan and whatever the fuck else they all are. We decided, no, they're not going to be this one. This is just going to be purely Nintendo first, second party characters.
Yep.
So.
Not even Namco wants to acknowledge Miss Pac-Man exists right now anyway.
Wait, what's going on with Miss Pac-Man?
Oh, it's like total right cell.
Hasn't
I forget
it always been?
It has been, but more recently they've replaced Miss Pac-Man. Like in the Pac-Man World remake, they replaced her with Pac-Mom.
What?
A different character. It's
Man,
a female Pac-Man with a pink hat.
That's like when they replaced Pac-Baby with Baby Pac-Man with Pac-Sis.
Oh yeah.
There's a Smashopia article that mentions this. Check it out. Baby Pac-Man. It's a spirit battle.
Soon to be character.
Nope. Listen, you still haven't delivered on Dr. Dolphin yet.
Nope. Oh, I didn't know you were waiting.
I'm not.
What about Dr. Goomba Tower?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, Dolphin was the original joke for some reason, so I guess we'll go with that.
I don't know why you're a fucking weirdo.
Yeah, it's a good thing I don't have the time to post Smashopia submissions or it would have happened.
Yeah.
I wish it had happened already. Maybe one day. Just like how Crom got his day. Will he get his day in these rosters?
Okay, quick question. Is that the most rude a Smash trailer has ever been? What they did, the Crom and the Captain Falcon and Lucina trailer? Because, sure, they've killed characters in Smash trailers, but that one's like, oh, hey, look, here's Crom. Nope.
Yep, that was a bigger fake out than us thinking Waluigi was ever going to be in Smash.
Yeah.
But at least Crom gets to be in Ultimate, and not only as his own character, but still in Robin's Final Smash. Yeah, that makes me happy.
Yeah, it's weird. I hope for the next Smash, Crom gets replaced in that Final Smash with, like, Morgan or something along those lines. I think Morgan makes the most sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, then again, if Crom is cut, I guess he can stay in the Final Smash.
That's true. That's true.
Yep.
Alright, well, enough talking about Crom.
For now.
Maybe he might be in the roster. Who knows? I know your roster, but you don't know mine. I have to know yours because, the nature of making graphics. But something I will say before we start revealing is, I was both surprised at what characters we both had on the list, and also surprised at what characters we didn't have.
Interesting.
It's going to be interesting. It's going to be an interesting discussion.
Wamba and Crom, here we come. Just not Chucky Finster, because he would be a fourth party.
Yeah. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. We're going to be going in order of franchises that are listed on Smash Bros. Website, which is also the numbers that Ultimate gave all the characters. So, Jonna, we're going to start with you. Why don't you give us what characters that you have selected to be added from the Super Mario series.
Okay, per Smash rules, so not necessarily sub-franchise then.
Uh, yes, per Smash rules. So Mario does not include Wario characters or Yoshi characters or Donkey Kong characters.
Okay, okay, gotcha. My roster may not include any of those anyway.
It's possible.
Yep. Okay, Mario. Shocker choice. Truly. Luigi. Again, really coming out with the controversial hits. Peach and Daisy.
Shoot. You saw nothing.
Rosalina. You know that lady. Um, Toad. Waluigi. Who could that blank spot belong to? Bowser.
I don't know. Maybe I fucked up.
Maybe, and Bowser Jr. So, I think, no secret here. I think when we get into the Mario adjacent franchises and it fills out a little bit more, it'll become less of a bastardization of itself here. But yeah, I cut way back on the number of Mario characters in this Mario Kart formula because there's needs to be room for other franchises. What I diluted it down to what I think is the base, and then a little extra with Rosalina and Bowser Jr. But besides that, there's a certain number of characters that need to be Mario Kart now, and I think at the base most that includes Mario, Luigi, Peach, Daisy, Toad, Waluigi, Bowser, and a few others that we will get to.
All right.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and reveal my characters then for the Mario franchise. First of all, as no surprise, we have Mario.
Yeah.
We got
Him.
Luigi,
Ugh.
Peach,
Oh yeah, her.
Daisy,
Oh yeah.
Rosalina,
Huh.
Toad.
Mm-hmm.
There's Wario, or not Wario. He's not a Mario character anymore. Wario
Who's
is
that
not.
guy?
Wario is canonically not a Mario character anymore. That's the stance on everything. We have Waluigi. He is, however, still a Mario branded character, despite what some may wish. And then we have Bowser, and we have Bowser Jr. So our Mario characters are actually identical here.
Except you have 3 more than I do.
What? No, I don't.
Wait. No, you don't. That might just be the... Okay, I
It's
thought
just the
that
way the
maybe
roster
space
is
between
laid
Waluigi
out.
and Toad. Okay.
No,
So we have literally the same.
Yeah, we have literally the same characters. Kind of like what you said, I think there's certain characters from Mario that have to be there. If this was a Mario Kart 10 roster or Mario Kart 9, depending on if you say tour counts as 9 or not, I think there'd be more characters that I would say have to be there. But as far as like a Super Smash Kart with Mario characters are concerned, you have to have Mario, you have to have Luigi, Daisy, Bowser, Waluigi, and Toad. I think those you have to have. Rosalina, Bowser Jr., those ones could miss the list. They were the last 2 Mario characters I actually slotted in because it was like, okay, I'm making my picks in waves. Like, okay, here's the most important ones from the entire thing that to be kept. All right, next wave of characters, next wave. And Bowser Jr. and Rosalina, they were not in the first wave, but they made it on.
Same here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they made it. I think at this point they've stuck around enough, so I was fine with including both of them.
I agree. At this point, they are just a half step below who is naturally grandfathered in. By the next wave of Mario spinoffs that they're in, like okay, they're kind of main characters to this whole order now. I guess I'll say at this point too, like if this were a Mario Kart sequel, like you were saying, and not Smash Kart, There would be several characters that I would include, but some of them would be
Egad.
like Coop. Yeah. Oh, first of all, hell yeah, Egad, Pauline, like those kind of offshoot characters that are still in the spotlight, just shoved to the side a little bit.
Yeah.
Um, I love the inclusion of boss characters like King Boo, King Babam, Petey Piranha. Probably at least one of those. Koopa would have to be there because he's been in since the very first Smart Mario Kart game.
Yep.
Uh, Shy Guy, I guess,
I
maybe.
I considered
But yeah,
Koopa for this roster, but there just wasn't
me
enough
too.
room for it.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, there's, as you said, Smash rules, and the Smash House rules are generic enemies. Well, actually, I shouldn't say that so soon because who knows if a generic enemy will show up on one of our rosters. But for Koopa's sake, there were just so many Mario characters to include, and I felt like the number that we have here was the healthy number to have, and Koopa missed the cut.
Yep.
That's all I got there.
All right. Let's move on to the next franchise, Donkey Kong.
That was. Let's defer to Donkey Kong's hit song "Make Love Like a Golden Banana" from the Donkey Kong Country series, TV franchise in the 90s. Donkey Kong is on my Donkey Kong franchise list, and so is Diddy Kong, and so is King K. Rool. And I gotta say, I have a fourth character.
Oh,
Who would you think it would be?
Cranky Kong.
That would be cool. Most people might say Dixie. That would be cool
Funky
too.
Kong.
Funky's been in Mario Kart.
Wrinkly Kong.
Yes.
Karate Kong.
Donkey. Yes. Kiddy Kong. Donkey Kong Jr.
Eddie the
That guy. Donkey Kong Jr. is a character with a history, not even just in the Mario Kart franchise, but also between you and I
Yeah.
as friends and adversaries. A character who repeatedly turns his head in personal discussions where we're like, oh, who should be a Donkey Kong representative in Smash in the future or in an alternate timeline? So now that we're not debating, I figured it would be the perfect time to actually bring DK Jr. out. And I think it makes sense beyond just petting my personal bias for once by including him. Because he was in Super Mario Kart, and he used to be a franchise darling of Mario spin-offs in general, Mario Tennis on the 64 included. He was a big time character in the early Nintendo console days, 80s and 90s, early 2000s. And he was given a nod in Mario Kart Tour as well. Here, he would actually be 3D, by the way, Mario Kart Tour, which I get it, but it's still weird.
Yeah.
So I wanted to give him a nod where it made sense because of the Mario Kart history and because Smash is not against retro representation anyway. He would still be a cool retro rep for the series. Although in Smash proper, I'd argue we still need Dixie first, but still, he would be a good retro pick. K. Rool is here because like we just got him, and even though this is an offshoot, it feels really weird to abandon such a huge character right away. Diddy and Donkey Kong are necessary. Diddy's necessary in Mario Kart. Like, where the hell is he? He's not even in DLC for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe yet, as of this episode being recorded.
There's still, I think, 2 characters left for them to add as DLC that they haven't announced yet. I think there's good bet Diddy will be one of them, but it could also be like it could be Pauline or I think we got Kiana because one of the ones that was already revealed. But there's a lot of characters that could be, but I think Diddy has a real strong shot.
Yeah, please let it be so. I mean, what would happen if it were Funky? Funky instead of Diddy? Okay, at least it's a character. Dry Bowser instead of Dizzy? That's pink gold peach offense right there.
Cobalt Donkey Kong.
I thought you said how about Donkey Kong at first, and it took a second to register, and I was like, oh, God.
Yeah,
Like
it's gonna be 2D Donkey Kong.
Oh Jesus! I've had dreams about that for Smash. Classic Kong.
I mean, go back to Makiro's roots. They were movesets created for classic Mario and classic Bowser.
Yeah, And classic Donkey Kong arguably makes more sense than those two, at least.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be against it, but that's a total offshoot. But yeah,
Yeah.
there are my 4 Donkey Kong characters.
So, something I want to mention as well, when you're talking about DK Jr. is one of the things that's nice about creating a roster for a kart game, so just like the Smash fighting game, is we're not beholden to the traditions of Smash. Characters who are in Smash that have been in Smash for forever, or that might be more difficult to do in Smash. We don't have to follow that logic here because we're not making a fighting game. We're making a whole new thing. So yeah, we can
Yeah,
absolutely have characters that aren't in Smash Forever, like Toad and Donkey Kong Jr. Or we might remove characters that have been in Smash from the beginning. We'll
I feel like
see.
that's a teaser.
It might be. It might be.
Yeah,
Some people might be upset. You might be upset at me. I might be upset at you. Our friends of friends and friends might be upset with the both of us. Who
our
knows?
loyal audio listeners may be upset at us for the umpteenth time.
Oh, they've already closed the episode.
Yeah, DK Jr. What the fuck? Anyway,
Anyways, let's get to my Donkey Kong characters now, and it may surprise you to know that I actually have more Donkey Kong characters than you do.
that is surprising.
Yeah. So let's start off with the obvious ones first. Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong. You gotta have
Yep.
these two. You gotta have them. Again, it's Mario Kart 8. The fuck you doing? Put Diddy in the game. Now I thought about Funky Kong. I didn't include Funky Kong, but I did include Dixie Kong.
Can't go wrong.
Can't go
There.
wrong. And then this may shock you, but I also have Donkey Kong Jr. It makes sense. He's a legacy Mario Kart character. He was in the first game, Super Mario Kart, and this is a chance to bring him back
Yeah, it is.
in a 3D form. That's not
Yes.
2D pixels.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I have one more DK character. It's not King K. Rool. It's. This character was actually already mentioned in this episode.
Oh, so it's
It's
my
Pauline.
god. Oh, okay.
Pauline counts as the Donkey Kong character, boy. I count
I
it.
wonder if in Smash she would be caught as either one. Like
It's
if
hard to
Odyssey
say.
based, yeah,
Hard to say.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's a loophole. King K. Rool, justice, but
Yeah.
he got it on mine. So what?
Pauline and Egad are the two Mario characters or Mario adjacent characters that I most want to see added in a future actually branded Mario Kart game. Those are my
Me too.
top two. Like we need them. Come on.
Mm-hmm. I also wouldn't be against either of them in Smash proper.
Yeah.
It would be really cool. I wouldn't be upset with their inclusions. It's just Smash is far more political, so it's like we need Waluigi and Gino.
Yes. And then Paper Mario.
And then we could talk about the others. Yeah, it'd be the best thing Paper Mario appeared in since 2003, 4,
was
2004.
Is that when Super Mario came out or Thousand Year Door?
Oh yeah, I forgot about Super Paper Mario. Okay, 2007.
Okay.
Yeah, I like Super Paper Mario.
I do too. It's got its flaws, but it was a fun game.
Yeah, the gameplay could become rote, but the story was like crazy and more than made up for it. Unlike future titles in the series.
Yeah. Anyways, let's
Yep.
move on to our next franchise here. We're going to take a brief break from the Mario side of the universe, and we're going to go to The Legend of Zelda.
Yep. Okay. So, for the Legend of Zelda franchise, underrepresented in Smash, that is not a controversial opinion. Not even on this podcast when you and me and Jake and Kellen all agreed.
Mm-hmm.
But here within Smash Kart, it's a little different. We have 50 slots, so I have a humble floor for the Zelda series. I think is fair. Link is there, as well as Zelda. Two characters whose names are often confused with each other since the 80s. We also have Ganondorf. Um, and last but not least, a character who acts as a nod to more recent installments in the Zelda franchise, a beloved friend who gives you a whole lot of shit, but that's part of why you love him. It's Hestu.
I thought he takes your shit.
I guess he does both, ultimately.
Indeed.
uh, yeah, Link, Zelda, and Ganondorf, they're the base three, obviously. They're the Triforce wielders. They are the center of The Legend of Zelda. They are why this franchise is what it is. They all have to be there. Hestu is an off-shot character, obviously. I wouldn't suspect he'd be on your roster. That would be kind of a surprise. Because I kind of went out of the way to include something pretty offbeat, but just not unattainable. He's still a well-known character, arguably a modern icon of recent Zelda games, being Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. And with how popular those games are, I figured to give it a nod with a recognizable character from those two games because they've renovated Zelda in the way that Ocarina of Time did, and are just that huge right now in this era. And he has a really recognizable design, a recognizable voice. I think he could do really funny shit with his maracas, like in jumping animations and whatever. Think it would be a fun character to play as. There you go.
I gotta say, your inclusion of Hestu is why I kind of wish I could have been spoil free on your list because I
Mm-hmm.
love this inclusion. Honestly, as you
Nice.
mentioned, Hestu, he's not going to be on my list, but I love that he's here. And come on, if Mario Kart 7 can include Honey Queen, we can
Yeah,
include Hestu can be the fourth Zelda rep in Super Smash Kart. Come on,
absolutely.
it's such a great
And
choice.
thank you. And I love Petey Piranha in Smash. And this is a character, kind of feels similar. They're both plants anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So it kind of scratches that itch. Yeah,
and he would definitely be
a heavyweight.
no, not a heavy. Well, yes, he would be, but I'm trying to expressive in his
Hmm.
animations. That I think there's a lot they could do with that. So even though he has, a simple design, he doesn't really have like a visible face. The little voice ones that he can do, him shaking his maracas around. There's stuff that they could do with him that would be fun.
Absolutely. I think if Super Smash Kart existed with Hestu on the roster, there would totally be animation memes like Donkey Kong's dab in Mario Kart of Hestu shaking his ass.
Fuck.
You hate it because I'm right.
Yeah, I do.
Well, there's Hestu and the rest of them.
All right.
That's
Well,
the band name.
I also have four Zelda characters.
Hmm.
It's not the same for as you. I mean, we kind
Hmm.
of already revealed that. But of course, naturally, there's Link. Uh, there's Zelda, and then of course,
Hmm.
you gotta have Ganon. Not Ganondorf, but
Nice.
Ganon.
Nice.
This is one of the things that really amused me when I saw your list. And I was like a case of like, okay, here's things where like, oh, we're very similar here, and then it's like, well, you would get it, or if I would get it. That's funny to me.
Yep. 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 And Ganon is a character. Well, he's the same guy, but very different form, very different way of fighting.
Yep.
Much more brute strength, trident, magic, uh, fire bats, shit. So it would be really cool. There's a Smashtopia submission about this. You should go check it out.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, nice pick.
So this is one of the things
Interesting.
where I did where it's like, okay, I'm not beholden to Smash rules. I don't have to have Ganondorf. If we were making a Smash moveset, you gotta have Ganondorf. But I was like, I don't need him here. I can do Ganon.
Hmm.
Classic pick Ganon from Link to the Past and the Oracle games. Let's fucking go.
Nice.
But my fourth
Nice.
Zelda character isn't from the new Zelda games, but it is still a popular character in their own right. And there were several characters that I wanted to add from Zelda. I had a lot that I wanted to do, but there just wasn't enough room. But I did have
Hmm.
room for Skull Kid.
Oh,
Another one that I think would
nice.
be very, very expressive in their animations, and they can kind of just go wild with.
Definitely. Definitely. What a crew. What a crew. Ganon, it's the same but not. And then Skull Kid is a really popular character from one of the from the Zelda fans' perspective, like diehard Zelda fans, it's Majora's Mask is often their number one. It's a character that's been wanted for Smash forever as well.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a little bit of an offbeat one for you because I feel like you normally would go for like Midna or Tetra. Skull Kid kind of
Yeah,
gets lost in the shuffle sometimes. So
yeah. Midna and Tetra, I think, are like the typical choices of who I would have been. Like Midna would have been like my main thought, but I wanted to swerve, and I thought, you know what, Skull Kid could be fun in this kind of game.
absolutely, in Smash it becomes a case of yeah, but what are you going to do with them?
Yeah.
Honestly, um, you certainly can, but you have to get expressive with dark magic and stuff, and I'd rather them redo Ganondorf first.
Yeah.
But yep, cool. There's our four.
All right. So next off, let's go to Metroid. Who do you got for Metroid?
I have Samus from the Metroid series.
Okay.
And I thought he would be too big for a cart, but we put Ridley in anyway. That's all. See, I did. I again, Ridley and K. Rool, you can go without them. I just felt uncomfortable with the idea. Samus needs to be there. There you go.
Okay.
Ridley would be pretty funny seeing in a cart as well. I mean, the character is so serious.
Imagine Ridley fitting in the Bitty Bud.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All that to say, for my side of the Metroid, I only have Samus. No Ridley, no Adam, nobody else. You made a joke out of it, but I'm serious. Ridley is too big to put in the Bitty Bud. He's too big to put in a cart. I can't do it. No, I refuse.
King K. Rool and Ridley are both not on your roster. It's a good thing I've got him covered, or else the fans of Smash Brothers
I mean,
would be burning down our buildings.
Again, this isn't Super Smash Bros. Fighting game. This is Super Smash Kart, a racing game. So I was just like, I don't need to have some of these characters. I can put in other choices. If I brought in K. Rool, I would have had to drop Pauline.
Mm-hmm. Did you consider any other Metroid characters, or was Samus really the only one?
I considered nobody but Samus. I mean, sure, technically I consider Ridley, but Metroid. The problem with Metroid is that I mean, I guess I did think about Ravenbeak. Ravenbeak was in my short list, but nobody else was really a contender.
Well, it's a series that is very isolated and Samus centric, so there's that. Anthony Higgs, though.
Remember me? Like, no, because this is the first game you've ever been in.
They're rewriting Metroid Prime 4 to include him.
Ah, fuck.
What's taking so long? Yeah.
That makes sense.
Anyways,
so let's swerve back to the Mario side of the world with some Yoshi characters. Okay.
Characters, you say? Oh, I know. I know what's gonna happen. Yoshi and Kamek get their day.
Is that what your list has?
No, yours.
Well, we're doing your list.
Oh, yeah, mine just has Yoshi.
There he is, filling in that hole over there.
Kamek would have been... Yeah, Yoshi's so good at that. Kamek would have been a good choice. Whoops. Anyway.
Shame. They were supposed to be in Mario Kart 64, and then they got replaced. Ugh.
Yep.
At least they finally made it.
I'm
not bitter. Alright, but to my side list with the Yoshi franchise, of course, I do have Yoshi. You said Kamek. And it's like, yeah, Kamek. Great Yoshi character. Not on my list.
That's actually a shock.
Yeah, it's because Yoshi is my only Yoshi character.
Oh,
Or
okay.
are they because I did the unthinkable and kept Baby Mario on the roster? I did it! That's right, it was me! Listen. We all know that the babies in Mario Kart have gotten out of hand. Like, what the fuck? With Baby Rosalina? Really?
uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Detective Baby Rosalina? Really? Nah, no. But I did feel like, okay, of all the babies, if you have to have one of them, it's Baby Mario. And I wanted to keep at least one of the babies, partially because of like they have decent Mario history at this point. They started out in Double Dash with Baby Mario and Baby Luigi, but also because you can technically argue them as Yoshi characters, and therefore that brings our Yoshi reps to 2, and that makes me happy.
Could have made it 3, but not
Could
this time.
could have made it 3. Kamek was on my short
Yep.
list, but there just wasn't room.
It just makes you wonder who's in that slot between Baby Mario and Waluigi.
It's Dr. Dolphin.
I wish.
Yeah.
I wish Dr. Dolphin could get their day. What if I included Dr. Dolphin on my list? Would you have been mad?
No, because it's Mario Kart.
Oh, okay. Oh, shit. Well, onwards, I guess.
Yeah, just you wait till these lists pop out. I've got one character on my list that I picked almost exclusively to be like, here's the big WTF, fight me.
Okay.
But it's gonna be a bit before we get to that character. First of all, let's jump to the Kirby franchise, shall we? Who do you got?
Oh, yeah. All right, Kirby, we're not rocking the boat here, but we are giving a nod to the 3 mains, Kirby, Meta Knight, and King Dedede.
Ooh, all 3.
Yeah, daring today, aren't we, Sakurai?
I mean, it did take him, until Brawl to include more than just Kirby.
Uh-huh. Then he went all out thinking it was going to be his final game, and then said, well, actually.
Yeah, every time he thinks it's his final game.
Until now, when he's like, oh,
Yeah,
I can't
no.
imagine Smash without
Yeah,
me.
yeah. Now it's like I make Smash until I die. It's like, yep. When's
At
the
least
next
he's
one?
finally...
I
At
can't.
least he's
I
finally
can't.
given it up. Yep. But really, could
But
be in
really,
development right now. Switch 2.
yep.
Yeah, not a whole lot to say here. They would all be great in Mario Kart. In Smash Kart. In a Mario Kart style world, they would all be great. I feel like Kirby's big enough to include the 3. I feel like without these 3 being the first 3, it would be kind of weird. Like if it were like Kirby, Adeline, and Marks, I'd be like, cool, but
What?
not over Meta Knight and DDD, right?
Yeah, like as a
Uh,
as a fourth slot, Adeline or Marks or even Magalore or Bandanity, any of them would work in like a fourth slot. But 3,
mhm.
you gotta have the big 3.
Yeah, and so we do here, and that's all we've got because I have other plans.
Hmm, sounds fair. As for me, I kind of mentioned that I do things in waves. Kirby made it in wave 1.
Hmm.
Got to the pink puffball. I think when people talk about like new characters that they could add into Mario Kart that aren't Mario characters, I commonly see Kirby as one of the most common choices.
Hmm.
Because I mean, just one, design wise, he'd fit into the Mario world super well. But 2, Kirby Air Ride. We've already seen how
Yeah,
Kirby races, and it works
uh,
perfectly.
slap him on a warp star, and all of his carts could be the other stars from Aerite.
Yeah. But then Wave 2 hit, and I included Meta Knight. And then my
Sweet,
Wave 3 included King Dedede.
nice.
Yeah. I wasn't sure if I would be able to fit all 3 or not, but it worked out, and I'm glad it did.
Me too. Who could live life without a multicolored penguin?
Um, people in Brazil.
Yeah, that's because they have capybaras roaming the streets there.
Yeah, it's true.
That's pretty cool.
All right, next up, let's go to Star Fox.
Okay. Well, it may surprise you to know that there is nothing that I have for not having in the Star Fox franchise,
What?
which is to say that I do have something. And
Okay.
it is Fox, but it's also Falco. I feel like we easily could have gone with just Fox. But the reason why I included Falco, uh, he's Fox's number two. I feel like he's easily a number two choice for, I considered Crystal and Slippy and Peppy and Wolf, but he felt the most natural for this slot. Um, and I wanted to include them both because it gave me more reasons to say later on, okay, we're like offloading here, and we're gonna have an R-wing cart and a landmaster cart and a freaking whatever the submarine thing as the cart is, because there's a lot of cool vehicles in Star Fox.
There are.
So I was like, okay, let's do both so we can justify having more.
It's funny because we just talked about the submarine like 2 episodes ago, and I forgot what it's called.
Yeah, something like the Blue Storm or some
Yeah,
weird.
it's the blue something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Not only that, but I forgot the name of the vehicle that I had Slippy piloting in the move set already. It was like
Uh,
Zero. Yeah, it's a cool vehicle, but Zero didn't leave a great impression on me, so I kind of just forget by
I
the
don't
moment.
I don't think the Walkers had their own name besides just being called the Walkers.
There's the Walker, but then there's a Walker could be a cool cart. There's also the other one that has the drones inside of it. So I was the gyro something.
Oh, right, the gyrocopter.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
As for me over on Star Fox, we differ. I only have Fox on my list. I thought about Falco. Falco was actually in contention for the very last slot on my roster, but I didn't include him because I felt like for a Nintendo cart, there's no Fox and Falco. They're the same.
Mm-hmm.
They're effectively the same for something like this. I just didn't. I've thought about it. I wanted to have him, but other characters took priority.
Yeah, he was just that blue guy. He's
All
kind
right.
of a dick.
I mean, wait, Rivali?
Yeah. No, it's Falco. Rivali is Falco because he was a knockoff of him. I'll give him that much.
Yeah, it's like, wow, if I had a nickel for every time Nintendo created a blue bird that was a dick and thought they were better than everyone else, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot. But it's really weird that it happened twice.
Yep. Until the next Pokemon installment when there will be a third.
Speaking of,
Oh,
it's time for Pokemon.
okay. Let's get into this.
Which of the over 1,000 Pokemon did you include?
When you put it that way, my list isn't that creative, but I do have 5 here, which kind of feels like a lot, but it's Pokemon. So ergo it's justified. Mostly we're bringing out the hits here. There's a certain one. There's one basically. There's one Pokemon that you can't go without, and it's Pikachu. You got a little sneak peek of Pikachu earlier in the episode, if you're watching visually.
My bad. It was right next to Peach.
Yep. Then you also get Charizard, who is monstrously popular. I think he's still the number 1 most popular Pokemon ever.
I mean, it's either him or
or what?
It's either Charizard or
Oh, or Lucario. Yeah. Yeah, and that's exactly why too. Like you really can't have it without Pikachu, but Charizard and Lucario are so like massively popular and well received. They felt like again we approach our rosters differently. In my roster scape, they felt necessary. One that arguably, I mean, just isn't necessary, but I can't live without it is Jigglypuff. I'll make my prediction now that Jigglypuff is not on your roster, and this is going to be an interesting point. But last but not least, before we get in the weeds too much, my final choice is a Gen 9 Pokemon. Who can it be? Can it be Tinkaton or
Tinkaton, Tinkaton, Tinkaton.
one of the legendaries since they're already bikes?
Uh,
That
the fish legendary.
yeah, that one. The mask legendary from the DLC. Raikou.
Oh God, Raikou, my boy, what have they done to you?
It's Goldengo, the 1,000th Pokemon.
Oh my God, there's so
String
many.
cheese and all.
Tween, tween.
Um, okay, so Goldengo. Pikachu, Charizard, Jigglypuff, Lucario. Not controversial choices. All popular in their own ways.
Debatable.
Three of the four of them massively so. Jigglypuff during the original anime, kind of just grandfathered in through Smash now. We'll get more to that latter point later on. Plus, it has a great song that, when I fully recover from screaming like a wrestler earlier, we'll get back to. But for now, Goldenko kind of looks the part. You know, it's a sporty-looking Pokemon who looks like a cross between string cheese and like a skater. And it's funny because the string cheese character from the string cheese we had as kids,
Looked like
I think
Goldengo.
was yeah, it looked like Goldengo. It was very athletic. It did like a number of sports. It's like, oh yeah, eat string cheese while you bike through the Everglades. So I kind of adopted that and projected it onto Goldengo. So it's not just made of gold, and it's a very money forward Pokemon, treasure forward Pokemon. Now also headcanoned into being a sports loving fiend.
I mean,
So
one of
yeah.
the Goldengo's animations is him flipping up with a surfboard
Oh
or
well,
skateboard,
heck,
whichever it's supposed to be.
that is hilarious. And okay, there you go. It's real.
Yeah, Goldengo's a sporty. It's canon.
Nice. And it's the 1,000th Pokemon, so what a nod.
Yeah.
All right. That's my what damage are you going to do with the Pokemon world?
Well, I only have 4, not 5. We're
Interesting.
definitely not going to have the same list. However, we do both have Pikachu and Charizard
Mm.
and
Or-
Lucario.
And Lucario. Oh, interesting. So
Pikachu, you gotta have Pikachu. Charizard, the most popular starter still. Makes sense to include him. Plus, you know, he's a nice choice for a heavy rep. And I would include Lucario because again, he is incredibly popular and has been popular since his debut in Gen 4. So it's like, yeah, Lucario can stay. I'm totally going to have Lucario in a card game. Why not? And then I had 1,000 options for the 4th slot. And oh god. Oh god. There's so many. I thought about, you know, Greninja. I thought about Mewtwo. I didn't think about Jigglypuff. I thought about Blaziken or some other popular Pokemon.
Dreamtail.
Maybe. But no. But I picked. I ended up picking another one that is, you know, pretty popular. Not from Gen 9, but a recent season. We've joked about this character in the past. It's Mimikyu.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
What?
yeah. Why not?
Oh my god, Flamezone is so happy right now.
I think Mimikyu. I think it could work for Car Racer. They got that little claw that like peeks under the cloth. That's how they hold on to the wheel. And if
Uh-huh.
they need to throw an item, they can pop a second claw out and they can throw the item with that. I think it works.
It does work. It's so offbeat. I wouldn't have ever expected this choice from you.
You say that like
Ever.
you expected
And
it.
no, I didn't. I was gonna guess Tinkaton.
Ah, nah. If it was a Gen 9 Pokemon, probably was gonna be Tinkaton. I love that little gremlin. But like Impidimp also could have been a fun little one to include or
Mhm.
something.
Mhm. Appleton. Yeah.
Ah, I love Appleton, but would not have worked here.
Cool. I mean, you have a ton of choices, like you said, and you landed on one, and it's pretty solid. If this were a real list, imagine Mimikyu surging in popularity again and selling all those little dolls.
Yeah, I mean Mimikyu is one of the assist Pokemon in Pokken Tournament.
Hmm. Once rumored to be in Smash when Ultimate had a heroes versus villains theme in the rumor mill.
Yeah, that didn't end up happening. I'm not
And
opposed to
I don't.
Mimikyu being added because I think they could work, but that leak
Hmm.
was so obviously fake.
No, to most of us.
Anywho,
Yep.
next up, let's jump over to Earthbound.
Okay. Ness.
Boy, that was quick.
Yeah, and that's the one that I have. I felt that was unnecessary to have Lucas, and Nintendo is basically just Ness. Porky would have been damn cool, but I didn't feel right having two mother reps here.
If I had two mother reps, Porky would be my second choice easily.
Definitely, and then it would get weird. It may not even be a main character after that. I might go New Age Retro Hippie or Bubble Monkey or some shit like that.
You could do a Starman.
Easily, yeah. But it's just Ness.
It's just Ness.
Hmm. He belongs here. What a guy.
Indeed, he certainly belongs on your list because I have
Okay,
Lucas instead.
interesting.
Yeah, I thought about Ness. Ness was the original idea written down, but I'm just like, what if we don't? What if we swerve and include Lucas? Let's do that. Let's swerve and have Lucas instead of Ness. Because fuck it, why not? Melee was rumored to replace Ness with Lucas if Earthbound 3 hadn't been delayed. So fuck it.
Hmm.
Look, we're not beholden to Smash's rules. I can do what I want. And I did.
At least his snake, rope snake is there to play.
Yeah. Rope Snake is, in the animations.
Yep.
Alright.
Interesting. Okay, cool.
Final franchise that was introduced in Smash 64. F-Zero.
Okay, come on. Captain Falcon needs to be in the Smash Kart. Now, this is where you agree with me and have him on your list too.
I mentioned earlier that Kirby is one of the most popular characters I see people bring up when it comes to the Nintendo character they could add to Mario Kart.
Hmm.
Samus is also one of those that I see mentioned a lot. But the most common, well, maybe not the most common, maybe like the second most common I see, is Captain Falcon.
Okay,
Yes, he's
cool,
here.
good.
I didn't swerve this time. There wasn't even a thought to swerve. I also didn't even consider any other F-Zero characters. I figured we only need Captain Falcon for this.
Definitely. And what a glorious thing that would be.
Indeed.
We've gotten so close. There's Mute City and Big Blue and Mario Kart 8
Yeah.
Deluxe, which is really cool. The Blue Falcon's in. Just give us Captain Falcon now.
Yes, and also a new F-Zero game.
If fucking only.
Mm-hmm.
There's this thing over at Nintendo HQ where they feel like they need to innovate the franchise to make it worthwhile. It's like, no. You could even just port X over and barely do GX over and barely do a thing to it, and people would buy it at this point.
Monster Truck Mode.
Oh my god. Actually, Miyamoto might be into that.
I demand it.
That would be fun. Okay, you heard him. F-Zero Monsters for the Switch.
Yeah. All
Okay.
right. It's Melee time. Only
Hmm.
introduced 3 new franchises to the series, but let's start off with Ice Climber. Did you include the Ice Climbers?
Ice Climbers, Polar Bear, and Topi, as well as the Condor.
What?
No, just kidding. It's just ice climbers.
Okay.
I think they're cute. There would be a cute addition for this kind of game. I think that they would animate well. They would have a lot of. It would be a lot of fun to play with them in this setting.
I agree. I think the ice climbers were pretty cool.
Hmm.
Uh,
And you don't. Do you have them or no? I wonder. I wonder.
I don't.
Yeah. I thought you were seeding into that.
Yeah, I did include the ice climbers on my list. I know it's a sin. I was one of the people who that was unhappy that they were left out of Smash 4. But for this being Smash Kart, I wanted to something you'll see as we get closer to the end of our list is I included a lot more franchises that do not have playable characters in Smash, and to do so required cutting some other characters, and Ice Climbers are one of the ones that just did not make it for me.
Hmm.
I have several other retro picks that I think made it worth it to not include them here.
Okay.
All right, next up, Fire Emblem.
Okay, so you got to have Marth. I think at this point, Marth is. I mean, not even. It was never in contention. Marth is the Mario of the franchise, essentially. Um, doesn't appear in every game. It's not the main character of every game, but it is enough of a. He was the debut character of Fire Emblem. Comes from some of the best-selling titles in the series, and is heavily mentioned in Awakening. And why am I totally blanking on the last Engage? So he's been around enough. Uh, he should be there. And I also included Ike.
Is that your most
Kind of
is
like
that your most biased pick of the entire roster?
maybe. He's also essentially the Charizard of Fire Emblem. So constantly lauded as the most popular overall character, generally speaking. Including in some Choose Your Heroes polls. I think it was in the first batch ever to win.
He was
Um,
Ike,
yeah.
Roy, Lucina, and Lynn were the first four.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I think the justification is there, and yeah. Otherwise, I do like Ike, and I want him in before Robin or Byleth or Corrin or any of the newer characters. So, bleh, there you go. But those are my two. I feel like there's a lot of franchise bloat in Smash for Fire Emblem, but I think two is a comfortable number for this project.
Yeah, because I mean, at the end they're just guys in carts.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it makes sense to have a lot of Fire Emblem characters in this compared to Smash proper.
I cart for my friends.
Sure.
Being one of his things he says.
Now,
Anyway.
now, Jono, I need you. I need to apologize.
Uh-huh.
I need to apologize in advance.
Uh-huh.
Because while I do have Fire Emblem on here, or while I do have two Fire Emblem characters on here, you will not find Ike on my list. And you will not find Marth on my list.
Oh, bitch, please.
I'm serious. I'm serious.
Okay.
You are not gonna like this.
No Marth.
Nope. This
Okay.
is not Smash the fighting game. This is Super Smash Kart. There are different rules. They're promoting different things, and I'm apologizing to you for it.
Alear is here? Oh my god, I can't believe you did that to yourself. What the fuck? Are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding you. Alear, it's the
Are
most
you
recent
kidding
game.
me?
Listen,
Oh my god.
listen. In Smash proper, if they added Alear, it'd be like, what the fuck? You just play exactly like Marth, and your little Marth goes following you around. This is stupid. But this is a Nintendo Kart. Now we can promote the newest Fire Emblem game with its protagonist as one of our playable characters. So yes, I included Alear. And Ghost Marth can follow behind him or something for animations. That's my compromise.
Man, I am so glad you included Alear.
No, you're not.
No, I am, because now when people go back and compare rosters, yours might have they may have so many more interesting inclusions because you have inherently there's way less veterans in your list, but you have Alear, so that's going to be a point for people to remember.
I think it might be multiple points.
Oh my god.
But it's
This is
this.
Zantok at his most unhinged.
I didn't want to do it, but it made
Uh,
sense to me. It
oh
makes
my god.
sense, and I knew you were gonna hate it. I knew you were gonna hate it so
Oh
much.
my god.
But
Anyway.
but my second character does represent older Fire Emblem. This isn't just Alir and Violet. I didn't do that because my second character is Reinhardt.
What?
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It's not Reinhardt. That's it. That was a joke because he didn't go up with the graphic. It's actually Tiki.
Okay. Cool.
Specifically, Tiki's design from the original Fire Emblem games, when her young form and not her adult form from Awakening, so that I could have that representation of older Fire Emblem. I thought it'd be more interesting to have Tiki than have it be like, oh, here's two dudes. Not that I'm knocking the inclusion of Marth Knight, but having a character that's not just like a standard human, being the Manicat, and maybe like if they have unique special items come back like they did in Double Dash and like what tour this little bit, her unique item could be breathing out a breath weapon ability in her dragon form.
Yeah. I have nothing wrong to say with that choice.
That's good.
I like Tiki, and I would like for Tiki to be playable in Smash as well.
Yeah.
Well, let's see what else.
I knew I was gonna catch shit. I knew I was. I was like, this just makes sense to me.
In a world where nothing makes sense, follow what makes sense for you.
Yeah. Let's move on to a different franchise here.
Oh
How
my
about?
gosh, I wonder if we ever can.
I hope so.
Okay.
Let's talk about the Game and
Oh
Watch.
my god.
Did you include anything from the Game and Watch?
Yeah, I included Mrs. Game and Watch. The octopus. Mario Brothers Mario from the Game and Watch when he made cement pies. Okay, yeah, I did put Mr. Game and Watch in.
Okay.
I did. It would be kooky, strange fun to see how that would work. And that's kind of the whole of it.
Yeah, I thought about Mr. Game Watch. Obviously, from my saying it that way, that clearly means I did not include him. I thought about him, but I was just like, this is a flat 2D character. I don't know how to make that work on a go-kart where you need to be in this 3D environment. Smash, it can work. I could not picture it for Mario Kart. If I could have pictured it for Mario Kart, I would have had Paper Mario in here. Because Paper Mario, at least, you can vision him flipping around. We see it in Paper Mario games. But if I didn't even include Paper Mario, there's no way I was going to be able to include Mr. Game & Watch. I can't do it.
Yeah, that's fair. That's just how we've always kind of been. You and I tend to go out there a little more with these thoughts. Like, oh, what if a character in Smash rode a horse?
Or was a horse
like,
when you used to suggest Epona.
Yeah, and then and sometimes it works in the favor in that mindset's favor, like when Ridley finally made it into Smash and you had a hard time imagining it. Sometimes it doesn't. So we will see. When we develop Smash Kart, we'll see how Mr. Game & Watch can work for real.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right, let's move into the Brawl era now. Kicking it off with Kid Icarus.
Yep, I've got Pit. Such a great character. I mean, Sakurai redesigned him so well in Brawl. I'm so glad he was in the first trailer for Brawl. It instantly became iconic to the franchise. And he got Uprising out of it, and that made his character even better. So after Uprising, I can't imagine not having Pit in a Smash Kart.
Agreed.
I would just love him to be in Mario Kart if there were a short list of DLC characters from other franchises or guest characters rather from other franchises. He would be towards the middle of that short list for me. So he's a top tier choice for me. I also, again, it's in the makeup of our list. You're beginning to see it's very structurally different. You are going out of your way to include many franchises and choices that are not in Smash proper. Whereas I approached it like, yeah, we're going to have a few of those choices that are not in Smash proper, but they may still live within franchises from Smash. All that to say, it's a veteran choice, and I do have Palutena here too. My number 50. My number 50. Yeah,
Technically, you're number 51. Because the original ones you
true.
sent me had the Mii's on them, and I was just like, we're not including the Mii's in the roster. I told you this, bitch. Mii's are considered a freebie, so yeah, I didn't mention at the top of things I meant to, but despite the fact that you won't see them in the rosters, Mii's are still in this game. We just didn't want to we didn't want them to take up a slot. So
Mhm.
Jono included the Mii's on his. I'm just like, bitch. Mii's are a freebie. Add somebody else. He's just like, Palutena's like, okay.
uh, Kid Icarus doesn't need two characters. I feel like not having Pit would be blasphemous, but she's fun. Again, Uprising gave these characters personalities and backgrounds that we've never really had from them before, and she would be a fun character to include.
Fair
And
enough.
there you go. Yeah.
For my side of things, for Kid Icarus, I mean, you were talking about it. Pit would be a really good expressive character, and if we're adding non-Mario characters to be added to Mario Kart, my top four is more or less Kirby, Captain Falcon, Samus, Pit. Those would be the ones
Yeah.
that I would choose to include at this point, assuming that we're not losing, the Animal Crossing characters, or Link, or Inkling. Like if we're just adding, those are my picks. Those four easily. So had to have Pit.
Hmm.
I did not include Palutena or any other Kid Icarus characters. I only have Pit. If I was going to include a second one, it would probably be Viridi, because I think
Yeah.
Viridi is the more interesting character. Not just like even for like a character perspective inside of Kid Icarus, Viridi is more interesting than Palutena to me. I think she's a much more fun character, and she could be super fun with her expressions in a Mario Kart game.
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely should be fun. Another character I wanted to smash, although I don't know if that would happen at this point, but
We can dream.
yep.
All right, it's time to plug in a hole.
Um.
Let's talk about the Wario series.
Oh. What if I told you Wario wasn't on my list? Ah, but he is. Yeah, Mario Kart. Wario is one of the characters that must be in every game like this. Every Mario spin-off. If Wario is not in it, there is an issue.
Yep. The fact that
I
he
wa-
actually missed a Mario, or no, I think it was a Mario Golf game. Wario didn't make it, but Waluigi did. It's like what? Like I love me some Waluigi, but the fuck? It's wild.
They should both be in everything now, but if you had to choose, it would be Wario first. So that is bizarre.
Easily.
Um, yeah. So I wanted to include other characters: Mona, Captain Syrup, Orbulon. There were characters on the short list, and they just didn't make it.
For me, it's the same. Obviously, Wario's up there. Have to be on the roster, and I considered Ashley, I considered Orbulon, I considered Mona, but there just wasn't room for more.
Ashley would have been cool on her broomstick with red.
Yeah.
Nice. But yeah, I feel, I'm kind of already doing it in my head where I'm like, oh, I could have made this choice instead of that choice. But so maybe in the 10th iteration of this Smash Kart that we think of in our head, one will make it in, but not today.
Yeah, if we added 10 more characters, I'm sure there'd be like, it's like, oh, good, I can include this character. Oh, good, I can have them. Oh, thank God. But
Yeah,
we
you
didn't.
can finally put Jigglypuff on your list.
I would not.
I can put
I don't
Wanda on
even know if
mine.
I don't even know if a fifth Pokemon would make it to my list if I added 10 more characters. I know Falco would probably make it. I know Kid from the Friends who we haven't talked yet, but I really want to include would make it. Um,
Mhm.
I still don't think I'd have enough room for Gino. Sadly, I would want to, but I
Mhm.
would not be able to justify it. But yeah,
Maybe that'll be a little exercise speed round thing we can do at the end of this.
See about how we are on time.
Yep.
All right, let's move on to the next one. The next couple should be pretty easy, I think. How about Pikmin?
Olimar.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so. Olimar is on my short list as well. If I had a top 5 for Mario Kart spin-off characters, he would be in that top 5. Imagining him in a version of that Hakatate ship driving around just makes me happy. And of course, the Pikmin on climbing all over the cart with him would be fun.
Yeah. The Pikmin would be a special weapon.
Definitely. And Ochi will be there in some way.
I don't think it would be.
Oh, an Ochi cart, an Ochi themed cart.
Oh god, that's incredibly cursed. But yes. Oh my god. It has just those lifeless eyes.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
I hate it.
And yet you know it would happen.
Yeah.
You know it would happen.
Yeah. Just sit yourself inside of Ochi's corpse.
Oh god. Don't mind if I do. Smells like cardamom.
But similarly, you said like if you had a top 5, Olimar would be number 5. He's also my number 5. I couldn't say it at the time for obvious reasons, but yes, Olimar is on my roster as well. Put the Pikmin in the cart. His special ability, he throws one of them, it latches onto a cart, and it just fucks with their steering a bit. Why not? Makes it harder for them to, like, maybe they start veering left when they don't want to veer left or some shit.
Definitely.
All right, Rob. Do you have Rob or maybe Professor Hector or Vector?
I didn't even know Vector was a thing. Is that like the evil Professor Hector?
No, he's the player 2.
Oh, okay. No, just Rob. He was already in Mario Kart. It's an easy nod. Out of the retro. Oh, actually, I shouldn't say that. He's more easily feasible than Game & Watch, and I have them both.
I also have Rob.
Nice.
Just makes sense. He was in Mario Kart DS, so there's no reason not to have him. The only argument I've seen against Rob is if, like, because starting with Mario Kart Wii, you're able to race on motorcycles, and imagining Rob on a motorcycle doesn't make any sense.
But they can find a way to make it work.
Yeah, like they can find a way to make it work. Just like have his body be like connected to the motorbike or whatever. They can just do that. Or, who says characters get their own carts in Super Smash Kart? Or maybe the motorbikes are cut out, or maybe like characters have a specific cart for them like they did in older games. Who knows?
Yeah. Could be easily. Okay.
All right.
Onwards,
we are done with Brawl. It's time for Smash 4 Animal Crossing.
Villager and Isabelle are in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Villager and Isabelle are on my list. I thought about cutting Isabelle, but having her already playable and then not making the transfer here just felt weird. Not necessarily wrong, but it felt weird. And she's already a very popular character. If there were another choice for second slot, like in Smash proper, it would probably go to Tom Nook for me. This is a good time to talk about genders, too, because Villager is split off as a male or female Villager in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. In Smash Kart, I would like to condense that. Villager has options available across the spectrum. So you can choose a female and male presenting avatar by selecting Villager. Kind of like when you select Yoshi in Mario Kart, you can choose a Yoshi color. Same thing.
Yeah, I hadn't really covered it, but yes, I am agreed with you. Just have Villager take the one slot, and you can do costumes to choose between male Villager, female Villager. You can do that with the Yoshi colors. You can do that with Link being the champion tunic or the classic tunic. You can do that with Alear being male Alear, female Alear. In other characters, like maybe Toad has, blue Toad, yellow Toad alts, or a Captain Toad costume. Maybe Mario has a Dr. Mario outfit.
Maybe Peach has a Peach Head outfit.
I mean, technically not Peach, but yes, sure. Bowser Jr. could swap between the Koopalings.
Yeah.
Bowser
And
could swap to Dry Bowser.
mhm. Waluigi can have bus driver Waluigi's outfit.
Wario would be able to have his WarioWare attire.
Yeah. As well as that weird cowboy outfit from Mario Golf Super something Rush.
Or Mario Party 2.
Yes, that as well.
Yeah. But as far as Animal Crossing is on my side, of course, there's the villager. It just makes the most sense. And then if Isabelle wasn't in Mario Kart Deluxe, I would have Tom Nook instead. But much
Mhm.
like you, much like you said, it felt really weird to cut Isabelle when she was playing with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. So I said, all right, we're gonna go ahead and include Isabelle.
There you go. Some that is a sensible move.
Yeah, I'm not following the Smash rules, but I am kind of following Mario Kart's rules, with exception to arcade.
Yep.
All right,
That. Yep. Onward.
Wii Fit. Did you include anything from Wii Fit?
No.
Why?
It's in an interesting spot. It's still not quite retro like Game and Watch Rob, but it being a peripheral based franchise, and just didn't feel necessary for me.
Fair enough.
Yep.
I also do not have the Wii Fit trainer or anything else from Wii Fit. It just didn't feel necessary. There were other characters that were more important that I wanted to include, so Wii Fit
Yeah.
didn't meet the cut.
Ring Fit would have been a better choice at this point, I think.
Agreed.
Now, whether that happens or not is up in the air, but I'm just pointing it out now.
True.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next franchise, Punch Out.
I did not include Little Mac nor any other Punch Out character.
Ooh.
Yeah, and there's again, it's not really a reason. At a certain point, you need to. There's nothing against him. It's just you need to start making hard cuts. I mean, maybe he could have been in the slot of someone else that maybe is a more controversial choice for this format, like Game and Watch, or maybe Ice Climbers because they're a duo or something. But just in my mindset at the time of building this roster, he just didn't make the cut compared to other characters who fill a similar billing.
Understandable. For my side of things, I also did not include anybody from Punch Out. I thought about King Hippo though. I thought about King Hippo because I was like, Little Mac didn't really seem interesting to me for something like this. But I thought King Hippo will just like there'd be the extra edge to it that I
Yeah.
considered him. But again, he just didn't make the cut. If I was able to add 10 more characters, he'd probably be in there. But nothing from Punch Out either. So that's two franchises that have been completely cut.
Yep.
Let's see if it happens again, because it might.
Yeah, we will.
Oh, confident. All right, let's see what's gonna be this next franchise. Xenoblade Chronicles.
Okay, you're gonna hate me for this, but I don't have any Xenoblade characters.
Bullshit.
I know. No, it's Shulk is in. Again, we're not beholden to Smash rules, but Shulk I feel is the topical character. You know, if someone's talking about Xenoblade and they know one character, it's going to be Shulk. And again, I mean these characters in these games, they have no problem fitting into this world of karting because again, it's an expression where you're not dealing with movesets basically at all unless you have special items, which is only one thing. And Shulk should probably be the Minato in some way, shape, or form. You have to lean in on their personalities, what sort of expressions they would make, what sort of things they would say, and Shulk is like such a fucking rube. It would be so easy to make him appealing in this format. So he's in, and so is a character from Xenoblade Chronicles 3. So we're shafting to explain that a bit quickly. Actually, no, I'm going to say Mio's in. Mio's in for Xenoblade 3. Okay, so why Mio? Why not someone from Xenoblade 2? Why not Noah? I didn't include Rex or Noah because I feel like, again, it's to your point what you're saying about Fire Emblem. We don't necessarily need to be beholden to Smash rules, whereas Noah feels like a shoo-in for Smash 6 at this point. Mio, who's, just barely his secondary in Xenoblade 3, kind of takes the cake here as the more interesting from an aesthetic standpoint and kind of from a personality standpoint character. And I chose her for that sake. And Xenoblade 2, so you fall into the same pit hole because you have another male sword wielder essentially with Rex, even though he is just freaking something else with who he is. And Pyra and Mithra would be the next natural choice as they were in Smash Ultimate, but I can't imagine having only Pyra or Mithra, and I didn't want the 2 slots. I didn't want 3 slots for Xenoblade. And Xenoblade 3 is a more recent game. So Shulk and Mio.
Yeah, it's funny because you did at one point send me Mithra and Pyra, and then you changed it to include Mio and another unrevealed character.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was. I thought it was over. After a day, I was like, oh yeah, let's not do that.
Yeah, like when I first saw it, I was like, oh, both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I mean, I agree with you. If you're going to have Pyra or Mithra, you need to have both of them because it just feels wrong to only have one of them. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
wow, 3 slots. I didn't
Yeah.
need 3 slots for them.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, there's the 2 we settled on. I think it's a comfortable 2. It's a sensible 2.
It's sensible too.
Yeah.
I only have one Xenoblade character.
Oh, really? Is it? I'm interested to see who it is. I have my guess, but
Well, it's not Mio.
no, it's Noah.
It's not Shulk. It's not Noah. It's not Rex. It's not Fiora. But it is.
Oh, it's Melia. It's Melia.
Nia.
No, it's Nia. Really?
Yeah. I thought it was funny we
Okay,
both
nice.
picked the 2 different cats.
Yep.
So that amused me.
Yep.
But yeah, like you mentioned, like Shulk is like the typical choice, so I kind of want to swerve away from that. Yes, Xenoblade 3 is the newest Xenoblade game, but Nia is also in Xenoblade 3 in addition to Xenoblade 2. So I figured, why not? This works for me. And if you can't have, Pyra or Mithra, because, you have to have 2 slots, Nia makes a lot of sense to represent Xenoblade 2. I could go with Rex, but I thought Nia would be, like as we mentioned with some other characters, I thought she'd be the more expressive choice.
Mm-hmm. Oh, definitely. I love Nia. She's in Xenoblade 3? Whoa. That's cool.
I apologize. My headset just turned off, so I cannot hear anything being said. I'm getting that fixed up. There we go. I can hear you again. So whatever you said after I said that she was more expressive, I just did not hear.
Oh, well, it was, I made a slight joke about Xenoblade 3 spoilers. That was all.
Okay. Well, I didn't hear those. The audio listeners did, however, so yay for them if you, hopefully it didn't spoil you, if you haven't played the game yet and you're still intending to. Anyways, let's move on to our next franchise here, Duck Hunt.
Duck Hunt is on my roster.
Yeah.
There you go, the retro trio. The more I look at it, the more I realize Game & Watch doesn't have to be there. But Duck Hunt, I love the idea of this character being in a Smash Kart or a Mario Kart. Again, if we're rounding back around to it's the expressiveness of the character, it's the way the character presents themselves, this little shit laughing at you every step of the way, I guess with a duck in tow, or the duck's the item or something that it brings with it, would be great.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was so happy when Duck Hunt got leaked for Smash, because Duck Hunt was a leak for the official reveal. I was so like,
Mm-hmm.
yes, that's who I wanted. That was my hope for a what the fuck retro trace for Smash Four. Like, give me Duck Hunt,
Definitely.
and I was
Definitely.
so thrilled. And I was so thrilled, in fact, that I included Duck Hunt on my list as well.
Nice.
Again, you got the dog doing the driving, you got the duck on his shoulder. They're both mocking everybody that they go past. If they hit someone with a blue shell, they're laughing their asses off. It's what they do. Love it. Put him
Mm-hmm.
in.
There we go. You're really beginning to see how different our rosters are now too.
Yeah.
Because whereas I have 4 slots left, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
9.
9.
And we only have 2
Yeah.
canon Smash franchises left to cover.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get into them. First up,
Yes, let's.
Splatoon.
Inkling returns from Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. A natural choice. As natural as they were to include an Ultimate, this is a shoo-in character, obvious, even if they were not in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And again, click on Inkling, and you get a number of options: male or female Inkling, different colors, different gear. Really runs the gamut. It would be cool. There's also another Splatoon choice that I have here. There's a number of Splatoon characters to consider. All of the idols, Callie or Marie, would make sense. Marina or Pearl would make sense. Shiver, Big Man, or that other one
Fry.
whose name I don't remember, Fry, would make sense. DJ Octavio, I guess, could work. There's so much you could do with it. It could be Octoling or whatever. It could be Mr. Grizz. He's just sitting there as a wooden bear. But I didn't go with any of those choices. Oh, Salmon would be cool too. Actually, I did. I mentioned them already. Whoops. Brain. Big Man. Talk about an expressive character. Talk about someone who freaking loves themselves and isn't afraid to show it. An endless force of positivity, just dancing there with his silly face. Everybody loves Big Man. With the way that Splatoon 3's, little Tri-Wizard tournaments work out in their arena play, that may end up working against him in the as we speak about it, upcoming Splatfest. But everybody loves Big Man, and I think that as opposed to the popularity contest between the other characters in his ilk, he kind of stands alone and would be a whole lot of fun to see.
Big Man. How do I put this? Big Man and Hestu are the 2 big characters on your list. I'm just like, wow. Because those are the shocking WTF picks on your roster
Mm-hmm.
for sure,
Mm-hmm.
and I think they're both great choices. Big Man definitely surprised me more than Hestu surprised me on your list. I was like, oh shit, okay, all right, I see it, I respect it. I didn't do it, but I see it. It's like that's an interesting choice. Because
Yeah.
because I only have I'll just go ahead and throw him up here. I only have the Inkling. That's my only Splatoon character. But I thought about several others. I really considered I thought about doing one of the idols, but it felt wrong to only do one of them and not have their partner be on there as well. But if you're gonna do that, Big Man is like the one that you can get away with. It feels like.
Yeah.
But I also considered DJ Octavio. I thought about Captain Cuttlefish. But I think if I picked a second Inkling character or a second Splatoon character, it probably would have gone to Sheldon, because I just love that little guy. I would also say Inkling has a costume. It has all costumes for Octoling. Fuck it, why not? Who cares?
Yeah, that's fair.
But yeah, I only have the Inkling. Sheldon would probably be my number 2 choice if I had a second Inkling or a second Splatoon character. But I do not.
Big Man for Smash.
I don't know how.
Anything you can dream, you can do with Big Man.
Okay. All right, let's get to the final Smash Canon franchise. Jono, did you include a character, one of your last two character picks, did you include a character from ARMS?
I'm sorry. I couldn't even take that seriously. No, I did not include a character from Arms.
You
Oh
sound
my god.
you sound, how do I put this? You sound almost gleeful that you did not choose a character from ARMS. What's happening here? Tell me what happened here.
It's weird that Arms is even in Smash, especially as DLC. Although I love Min Min's character design, I think that her whole vibe and everything she brought to Arms is really cool. And that Arms on the overall brings a very fresh and modern aesthetic to a first party Nintendo franchise that Nintendo doesn't often appeal to. So there's a lot of potential there. There's a world where an Arms character would have made sense to include on this roster. It's not this world. Arms was a flop. As far as we know, a second isn't coming. It's just a non-starter and has no business here.
I think the other problem with ARMS is their arms.
Mm-hmm.
How are they going to drive the cart?
Yeah, that would be a dilemma.
Yeah. Uh,
You can almost see it with like a twin tail because it comes from her hair, right? So it can come down into the cart.
that's
But
true.
generally speaking, yeah, you're right.
That said, when it comes to my list, I do have an ARMS character.
Jesus.
I do. Now, if ARMS didn't have representation in Smash, I probably would have skipped ARMS here. But I was thinking to myself, just like, okay, ARMS. It's weird that its presence in Smash does feel weird, considering the game's really got nothing after its DLC run ended. It doesn't seem like there's anything more coming to it. Period. No sequel on the way that we know of. And then we get Min
Mm-hmm.
Min as a promotional character with DLC. It's like, what? Okay. So I thought about, do I include ARMS here? And I was leaning no, but then I was on like my last pass. So it's just like, you know what? There's something I can do here. I can do something with ARMS, and I think this would be funny.
Yeah.
And it's been mentioned, so I can't really do the shock of it. Twintel.
Oh, it's twin tail.
It's Twintel. You
Of
said
course it
it.
is.
I was like, he said it. But I thought I was like, okay, well, hang on. Twintel could work if she's got normal arms that she can still use to drive, and she can just have her hair with the big old, the fists on top of that. It's just like, with her as well. Just, she's still able to drive. And if we have those unique weapons, that, as I mentioned before, hers could be a punch from her hair arms. It
Yeah.
works for me. And hey, this is a 50 character roster. I can throw a slot to Twintel. Fuck it. Why not?
You sure can.
I've got seven
You
other
sure
slots
can.
towards franchises that don't have representation in Smash. I can give a slot to
Mhm.
Twintel. Let's go. Bring it.
Okay, cool.
All
Not
right.
your most controversial choice.
Nope, that's all here. Uh, all right. So we're down to 2 characters left on your side, 7 on mine. None of these characters are playable in Smash. None of their franchises have any representation playable wise in Smash. Maybe they have stages or items or whatever the hell else. But John, we'll start with you. You can go in any order
Mhm.
here. Who are your 2 characters that you have left that don't have representation in Smash?
Okay, one is a retro pick. It is Monk Rider. Yeah, I said it. There he is. It's a character that scratches a retro itch for me, and is a. I feel like either him or Excite Biker would be a natural pick for a thing like this because they are from other racing-oriented Nintendo games. So I went Mach Rider. Can't really tell you why. I kind of just have an affinity for the character over the course of this podcast. And it's maybe just a slightly more like, oh, this is kind of like an established quote personality, unquote, because like, oh, it's a little grittier and has a more established world. So there's Mach Rider. Although you couldn't fault Excite Biker either. I went back and forth a lot on that slot. Okay, and for my last choice, it is a character who has covered wars.
Frank West? Wait, no, that's not possible. We're not
Can't be.
allowing
It's
third-party characters.
a recently revived and finally released
Gino!
game. Yes, not yet though. It's not finally released. Advanced Wars. Andy.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that guy. Slap him in the Orange Star tank, or the Orange Star helicopter, or the Orange Star SUV thing, or Orange Star boat, and have him drive around doing his thing. His special move item could be a shot from his tank or whatever thing he's using at the time. Haha.
I vote it's a wrench and he gives himself a tune-up, so he drives faster. He gets a speed boost.
There you go. For a considerable amount of time.
Yeah.
There you go. There's my roster.
All right. Let's reveal the holes in mine. So first of all, I think I just should get this character out of the way because it just makes sense. Andy is also on my roster. Let's give Advance Wars. You know, it finally fucking released. It didn't do too well in sales, but you know what? Maybe that has something to do with the fact that it was delayed by like 2 fucking years at least. Like, gee, maybe it would have done better with its original release date.
Yep.
Not that I fault him for moving it, considering what was going on in the world at the time, but not only was it massively delayed, but it was also put out around where a lot of other big games were releasing. So Advance Wars Remake did not have a chance. It just didn't. But I think Andy would work pretty well in a kart racer.
Definitely.
The next one I want to cover is also being revealed now for a very specific reason. Excite Biker!
Oh.
Yeah, I
Nice.
also considered Mach Rider, and it was like, okay, Excite Biker or Mach Rider. That's why I love that we both had the opposite characters on our rosters. I love that we did that. But I also went with the Excite Biker because we already had the Excite Bike course in Mario Kart 8.
Oh, shit, I forgot about that.
Yep, that's the
If I had
sole
remembered that.
reason why I went with Excite Biker. Literally, just that one reason.
That's fair. That's fair. Nice.
Yeah. Next up, here's somebody else that got brought up briefly. You know, neither one of us had the Wii Fit trainer, but I do have the Ring Fit trainee.
Nice.
I was like,
I like how so many of these choices are like coming out naturally from a discussion from earlier.
Yep. That said, that is the last one. These other 4 have not been brought up at all tonight.
Okay.
So next, I'm going to go with a pick that a friend of ours has championed for Smash Proper. They're not really seen much. Like they have their games, but when it comes to America, those games tend to change.
Mm-hmm.
And I am, of course, speaking of Lip from Puyo Puyo, whose games become things like Tetris Attack, or Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, or I think there was a Kirby one and a Pokemon one. I can't remember what they were called.
No. From
Pokemon Puzzle
Panel
Course,
de Pon.
I want to say. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
From Lip from Panel de Pon, and from the Madoka Magica, I think it's Madoka Magica, and Puyo Puyo series. I thought, yeah, let's put Lip in a cart. I think that works. I like it. Let's do it.
Is Lip from Puyo Puyo?
Oh shit! I think that's the RO. Fuck. Okay, I was combining Lip and RO together. But that said, what I said about the two of them it's true of both of them. When their
Mm-hmm.
games come over to America, they do tend to be converted into other things. Not
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Robotics being V Machine because that's RL, but Tetris Attack, and then there was Pokemon Puzzle League as well.
Yeah, all
Our
great games.
Yes, our next one, uh, we're going GameCube era here for a character that a lot of people are just like they want this character to come back, and while Smash proper hasn't done it, I thought Smash Kart can bring us Chibi Robo.
I love that idea, and I wanted it in mine. And in another world, I may have put him over another character, but that
like
didn't happen.
Mr. Game and Watch.
Probably,
There's a lot
but
of
I
characters
still
you realize now. It's like fuck, I could have done them instead.
there's a couple. There's a couple, I would say,
All right,
two or three. Yeah.
we're down to my last two. This next
Mm-hmm.
one, they they're no stranger to vehicles, but carts,
Mm-hmm.
land-based vehicles, that isn't something they know too well. But maybe this will be their chance to learn how to pilot something else. Lark from Pilot Wing 64.
Wow.
Yeah. We've never
Cool.
seen any of the Pilot Wing 64 characters again since that game, so the only models available for them all are weird looking. But yeah, fuck it, why not?
And it's an yeah. I mean, this is a totally untapped territory. I didn't think of Pilot Wings. Even Wave Race could have done something, maybe.
Yeah.
Just the vehicle-based old games. So yeah, I like that choice.
All right. Are you ready for my biggest WTF of the entire roster?
It's a
Okay,
retro pick.
a retro pick.
Yeah.
Technically, it depends on how well you define retro picks, but I think at this point this counts now. Uh, this character made it in wave one of my characters because I just really, really want to do this stupid fucking shit.
So you're passionate about it then. If it made it in Wave One, and it's not an older character, so it's not one of your other champion choices like Goku from Yuyuki or Napoleon from
Correct.
Hanafuda cards.
This is correct.
It's from the Game Boy Advance era.
Maybe.
Just shooting in the dark here. I have no clue who it is though.
But they're not from a
Dem-
Game Boy Advance game, so I can't answer that for sure. But yes, I believe it would be the
oh,
Game Boy Advance era.
what the fuck are you gonna do? Doshin the Giant? Wouldn't that be something? What?
Doshin the Giant! Yes! Yes!
What
Yes!
the
I did it!
fuck? What the fuck?
Fight me! I dare you! Doshin the Giant in Super Smash Kart. Let's
my
go!
gosh.
I've never played the game. I've never
Oh
seen
my
footage of the
gosh.
game. But I just look at this guy and just like, you are my what the fuck choice for Super Smash Kart. Let's do this shit.
Oh my gosh. First
Huh.
of all, pat on the back to me for even saying that name out of the blue. And then
Yeah.
it happening. What a payoff.
Yeah, you did it a couple times. You did it with Doshin, you did it with Alir.
Alir was kind of just a looming feeling of dread.
Yeah.
Doshin the Giant. So Doshin has an evil form, or rather,
Joshin, yep.
kind of, yeah. So he can become Joshin when you run into him.
Yeah, or when he gets hit by an item.
Yep. So that's cool. Yeah, it's going to take some workshopping to understand like what would Doshin bring to the table besides being like a what the actual fuck choice.
Again,
Like
if Mario Kart 7 can give us Honey Queen when we have a roster of like 12 characters in that game, or maybe it was 10 or some other small ass number, I can have Doshin the Giant in a roster of 50.
yeah, and we got Honey Queen over Waluigi, which was crazy. Like actually mirrored the game experience for me considerably. I was like, oh yeah, this plays pretty well. This is a really good game, except Waluigi's not in it, so it's a horrible game.
Yep.
Doshin. Yes, I like that. What the hell? Okay. Yeah, there's been a few choices. I'm like, yeah, I would have made that choice too if I thought of it, but Doshin is not one I would have ever thought of. So, congratulations. Would that kid he's
it,
holding be with him?
uh, I think he might pop up in like an animation, like you know how characters can like do that little jump around whenever they jump over a speed boost or something. I think he might pop
Mm.
up for that.
Doshin, so you terraform a lot in Doshin the Giant. So you're moving, you're changing the shape of an island and kind of lording over the villagers and helping them out and or terrorizing them. Your choice. So I wonder how that could work in Smash Kart. Maybe terraforming is a large part of like the Doshin Island stage.
Could be, or it could even be like his unique weapon. He can lay down a patch of like I can't think of the word I'm coming with, like to use D&D terms, rough terrain. Like the road becomes a patch of road becomes bumpier. You can drive over it, and you know you're not gonna wheel out, but your cart's gonna become harder to control, and you'll have a speed loss.
Interesting. Yeah, works.
All
Okay,
right,
well there's our full rosters.
there are our rosters. We gotta. I think I want to, if I remember correctly, I think there's some like 16, 18 characters I think that are different between our two lists. It's
Hmm.
somewhere around that number. I don't remember exactly because you know it's been a bit since I looked at that. But
Roughly
I
a third.
yeah, I like just like where we agree, but also where we differed vastly. Like again, Ganon, Ganondorf, Mach Rider, Excite Biker, Ness, Lucas. I love that we did that with some of these. It made it more fun for me.
Yeah, absolutely. My again, and you can say that we've certainly approached our rosters differently. I think realistically, if a Smash Kart were to ever release, the ultimate form of the roster in a 50 character roster would probably be somewhere between ours.
I think it'd be closer to yours. I think some picks would not make it. Like I don't think Hestu would be on there. I don't think Jigglypuff would actually be on there. But I think overall your list probably better fits what a real Nintendo cart would do because they're probably just gonna go basic and just include primarily Smash Canon characters.
Right. Yeah. And I'm and that's where I'm reminding myself like that's not necessarily a bad thing because you're still pulling into
Legacy.
uh, uh, you're pulling into legacy. You're pulling multiple items and courses from these iconic locations, so it would still be a great game. But I am wowed by your roster because so many choices are not only off the cuff of what Smash would do, but also off the cuff of what you would do. Like generally speaking, what you would normally do in a roster game, or in build or in seriously discussing Smash proper, those rules have obviously been thrown out of the window here, and there's a
Yep.
lot of choices that are very took a very different type of thinking to place in. So it must have been a fun exercise for you.
Oh yeah, like I said, I threw out the Smash rulebook for this. There were some
Hmm.
things that these still obviously need to be happening, but I did not let myself be chained by the fact that oh well Smash has these characters, so I mean you gotta have Captain Falcon and Ness and Jigglypuff. It's like no I don't. I can do what I want. This is the brand new format. If this was a new Smash roster, yes, Ness is still there, in other characters, but I can do what I want.
Yeah, you can. You certainly can. You did. And yep, and mine was more legacy with a couple of outlying picks. Hestu and Big Man are big ones. Andy is a cool one, although it's one shared between our lists, which is a happy thing for me. Yeah, good overall lists. There's maybe a couple exceptions per list.
Yep.
Mr. Game and Watch maybe is not feasible in the mind's eye to some, and Alir is Alir.
Insulting.
Yes.
Yeah. I knew that was gonna be a very controversial choice, but to me, when thinking of like what would Nintendo do at this point in time, promote the newest Fire Emblem game. Well, in Smash, that will be boring, but in Smash Kart, it's more feasible to me. And then it didn't make sense that both Alir and Marth was like, okay, well, Ghost Marth can be in Alir's animation, and then we'll throw Tiki in.
Would Alir have other rings that you could wear as well?
No.
Like Alir and Soren or Sigurd
No.
or
No.
Isaac
No.
from Golden Sun, who got the shaft on both of our lists.
Yeah, Golden Isaac was on my short list. He was one of the characters that was like fighting for that last slot. I can't remember. I can't remember offhand who was that last character I slotted in. I honestly do not remember. I'm looking at the list to see if I can figure it out, but I can't quite tell. It might have been. It might have been Chibi Robo. Chibi Robo might have been that last one that I included. I can't remember for sure, but I know it came down to like Falco, who were the top, or Isaac, and a couple other characters. Was just like I can't do it. Actually, it might have been Dixie Kong. It might have been Dixie Kong. Now I think about it. I think it was. I think Dixie Kong was the last character I threw on because originally, I was going to mention this as well. Originally, I had a different character on the list entirely, and I dropped them to add one other character. I had Primid. I had the Primid on this roster because I wanted to throw a nod to the fact that Mario Kart typically likes to include the standard enemies with Mitch Cooper Show, but they've also had quite a variety of other standard enemies. And so I wanted to throw a bone to that with the Primid. But then I was looking at my roster and I was looking at which characters were left. And it's like, man, I really want to include one of these characters. Is there anybody I can drop? Primid. So I dropped Primid.
That would have been a fun pick. It's one that I thought of as well. And again, for multiple reasons, just didn't happen.
Yeah. But we've been about 2 hours on this. But I think we can spend a little bit more time moving off the rosters and kind of discussing what other things we might be able to see in a Super Smash Kart game. Like, what might we want to see different racetracks based off of, or battle courses, or, we've chatted about some items, but is there room, but, like, could you do something like a Super Scope item instead of, like, the fire, or, what am I thinking of? The green shells or something. I know one racetrack I would love to see, and I'd like to see a stage based off of this as well in proper Smash. But what about something based off of the cave system in Pikmin 2?
Yeah, nice.
Like you're driving around. Yeah, like you start out on the overworld, but then you go down into a cave, and now there's this new twisty track in this whole underground section, and you go deeper, further into the cave and find new environments you're going through, until finally at the end of when you're getting into the end of the lap, there's the geyser. And you run yourself out of the geyser and go back over the finish line, and now you're at lap 2.
Nice.
I'd like to see something like that. The name I tend to come up with it is just called like Treacherous Depths. But I don't know. I might, maybe there's a better name that can be workshopped.
No, that would be pretty neat. Yeah, I mean, I would be all for that. That's definitely an interesting way to take a Pikmin stage. Because I think normally when you think of a Pikmin potential stage, you'd probably think about something like Distant Planet, but translated into a kart form. So having it be the caves instead, still very iconic for the Pikmin franchise, would be really interesting.
Yeah.
I think. What would a Splatoon course look like? Like, would it be? I think all of the battle stages could probably be relegated to battle mode.
Well, Mario Kart 8 has Urchin Underpass. And there's also a battle stage for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I can't remember which one it is off the top of my head. It might also be Urchin Underpass. They might have used it twice. I don't remember. But as far as like a different one, I mean, I've always liked Salt Spray Rig. I know that's an unpopular pick, but I don't think I would choose it here. Maybe something like Museum D'Alfonsino or Hammerhead Bridge. What is the one? I'm trying to think of which one it is. It's in Splatoon 2. It might also be in Splatoon 1. Uh, there's a big old middle section with these tall ramps, but then there's sections off to the left and right where you can ink up some wooden platform and go up above it, and you can run around to the enemy side of the stage that way. I can't think of what that one is called.
I know what you're talking about. It's a Splatoon 1 stage that's been in all three of them.
Yeah, I can't remember what
Hmm.
that one's called, but I think Black Belly Skate Park would also be a pretty cool one.
Yeah,
Um, it's not a personal favorite for me, but Moray Towers could work. You could do something with the one of the Stamina Run stages, or even something based off of Octo Valley or the Deep Sea Metro.
definitely. Definitely. I also, like a Metroid, I mean, in Smash proper, it gets some flack for its stage selection being primarily like, oh, this is a lava-based Metroid stage. Let's do something new. I think in Mario Kart that would work very effectively though. Make it Brinstar, like the primary planet of the Metroid franchise essentially, or one of them, and you're driving through the overworld of Brinstar, and that eventually caves in from a volcanic m- moment happening, and you're taken into Brinstar depths, and Kraid is there, and it's a stage hazard as you're driving past him.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, I think that would be really neat. Um, Maybe something based on Colony 9 from Xenoblade, and you're driving from the Bionis through the Mechonis into Sword Valley, or the like Erythia Sea area from Xenoblade 3, and that could include the city, or even the theater, or Agnes Castle.
yeah.
There's a lot to pull from there.
So Xenoblade, hell, you could even just have the stage be the Bionis, and it just racing more or less around the Bionis, in kind of
Yeah.
like a Rainbow Road sort of way, and you're seeing all these locations. They're far away, but like you're racing around the torso, and you go over the arm. You cross over into the Mechonis over the swords, and you're going back through both sides of it.
Definitely, yeah, that would be really cool.
Another one you could do for Metroid is Ether from Metroid Prime 2. In
Hmm.
either like a lap 2 thing, or maybe just like partway through the lap, it transitions into Dark Ether. Since
Oh,
since
nice.
Dark Ether is in a parallel dimension, you can kind of like be swapping back and
Hmm.
forth between them, either based on your lap or just certain sections are different bits of each planet.
Definitely, that would be really cool. What would a Fire Emblem course look like?
I think Fire Emblem. I mean, you've made a couple stages that use this idea, attack in Fort Alpia being one of them. I think you could do a Fire Emblem course be in the middle of a battlefield. That's what I would do
Hmm.
with Fire Emblem.
Yeah.
Either that or Garrick Mach, I guess. And which battle you would use? I think they would pull from the games that the Fire Emblem characters are on the roster. So maybe they would do Attack at Fort Alpia since you like, or maybe they would do um, the battle where you have to run away because shit's bad in
Hmm.
Village. That one,
Yeah.
I tried like
Oh.
the mission was like here's your goal, escape. I'm like, I can fight. I tried to fight. Oh, I need to run. Or like based in the enemy nation of Elusia, or um, where the fuck Medeus is.
Mhm. I'm personally offended by Alir's inclusion on your roster, but at the same time, there are some pretty cool moments in Engage, I will say, from like that gameplay perspective, where you're
There's
like,
like
oh shit,
three.
I didn't realize the chapter you're mentioning, I didn't realize that would ever happen.
Yeah, that chapter was like, oh god.
Yeah.
That was the
So
first chapter
that
that had my interest in the game.
well, that's good and bad since it was more than halfway through, but still cool, still
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
um, it was still a great chapter, and it would be an interesting way to approach a course. Um,
Or they could do
nice.
something wild and have it be a Fire Emblem Hero stage where you're going through different portals into different Fire Emblem universes.
Nice. Nice. Kieran, eat your heart out. Thank you for your gift. Um, yeah, definitely. And some of them I feel are, it's not that they're more obvious, but there's just more to draw from that would appeal to like that natural Mario Kart base.
Mm-hmm.
Like Pokemon, I think would just be so easily transferable with their worlds into a Mario into a Smash Kart from a course perspective.
Area Zero or the Wild area, I think.
Hmm. Definitely. Or like Safari Zone or something, but that's just kind of the prototypical wild area.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, that would be a lot of fun. And it's something that
The
everyone can
the
picture.
what's
Hmm.
Giratina's realm called? Something
The,
dimension.
this distortion world.
Yeah, Distortion World. That could be a good one.
It would be. And these are all things that are so it's so easy to picture in the mind's eye with the Pokemon running around, flying around, and shit. That would be fun.
Yeah.
Also, sidebar, uh, the Pokemon Snap vehicles whose names I'm blanking on right now.
The
Easy
zero
Cart.
one.
Yep, the 01. Easy Cart.
Yeah.
Easy Cart.
Yeah.
Hmm. Um,
Did you
nice.
consider a Pokemon character for your roster instead of actual Pokemon?
I didn't think of it until this moment, but now that you mention it, could have been Todd Snap.
It. I didn't really. If I was gonna have them, I think I'd go Professor Oak.
That would be great. That would be great. But yeah, so that would be really offbeat too. That would be more than a Hestu a big man.
I mean, when it comes to all the different Pokemon characters, the iconic ones are Red, Blue, Oak. That's it.
Definitely.
Like
Definitely.
everybody's they're going to be more easily recognizable across generation. And I
Hmm.
think of them, I think Oak would be the more fun pick.
I agree. That would be really cool actually.
Give us Death
Um,
Mountain.
yeah, give us Death Mountain. Give us the great Sky Island and touring around the sky.
Clock Town, and each lap is a different day.
Nice. Nice. I would love that. I would love that. Um, yeah, Breath of the Wild stage would just be like, oh, it's everywhere.
Yeah,
Like
Sky
here
World,
you go. Yep.
Sky World
All
for
that would
for
be.
Kid Icarus.
Hmm. Skyworld and potentially Underworld, mix them together into the
Yeah,
same map. I don't
I
know.
mean they can have
Yeah,
we can have two Kid Icarus stages. Who cares?
who cares indeed. Um, Animal Crossing. I love what they did with the Animal Crossing stage in Mario Kart.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe just more of that. Just make it island themed to go with the new game.
Yeah, I don't really know what new idea I would do for an Animal Crossing track other than what we already got with I think it was called Wild Woods. I think.
Hmm.
Maybe we could do some like an Animal Crossing like a battle track that's based on the deserted island and New Horizons. I think that could work.
That would be cool. Yeah. Or touring around the museum with bugs.
Yeah. You could even do Icicle Mountain as a battle course,
You could. You
or
could. That would be neat.
some kind of like a hunting ground based off of Duck Hunt.
Nice. And again, a Doshin the Giant stage based off of the island that Doshin's on naturally
Yeah.
would work, and having it potentially terraform in different ways, like with moving terrain or natural disasters or just rocky areas of the course, would be a natural fit. And maybe you invoke the villagers reacting to these things along the way.
Yeah.
Would be really cool. A pilot wing stage, I feel would be a natural fit as well. Um, how you would express that it's in the sky, you would have to work some angles, but it could work.
Oh, the Animal Crossing stage is actually just called Animal Crossing. Wild Woods is a second. They actually have two Animal Crossing tracks in Mario Kart. There is Wild Woods, and there is uh, just one called Animal Crossing.
Oh,
Because Or actually, what is Wildwoods an Animal Crossing? It says it's you get it by purchasing the Animal Crossing Cross Mario Kart 8 Deluxe pack, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't think this one is actually an Animal Crossing. So it's just in that cup,
Oh,
and
got it.
its
Got
name
it.
sounds similar enough to Wild World that it's confusing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm trying to
I
find what the
gotcha.
Splatoon one was because we got Mute City and Big Blue for F-Zero.
I think it was Urchin Underpass, but it's just a battle course, and they don't have a race course.
Is that it? That's sad. And yeah, it looks like that's the case. But Zelda did give us Hyrule Circuit, which is, basically a Hyrule Castle.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and then, yeah, it looks like Excite Bike is the only other crossover one.
Yeah.
And then, yeah,
The
our
Hyrule
battle
Circuit.
course is, yeah, it
Mm-hmm.
was Urchin Underpass. That's what it was.
Mm-hmm. Hyrule Circuit was a really fun course, but for the purposes of this, I would love for them to get a little more game specific because it was a homogeneity, a combination of all of the Hyrule castles essentially with more of a Mario aesthetic overall.
Yeah. I mean, I picked Death Mountain easily. I think Great
Mm-hmm.
Plateau would also work. But if I could only have one, it's Death Mountain.
Yep. Lost Woods for Hestu.
Yeah, Lost Woods I think is a good choice as well. Do that for Hester. You could do that for Skull Kid as well. That fits both of them.
You could, yeah.
So just have like a
You
full
easily.
Zelda cup that's Lost Woods, Death Mountain, Great Plateau, and Clock Town.
Hmm. You could. I mean, Mario, Zelda, Pokemon, and Kirby, I think, could all are kind of the deserving franchises if they were to
Yeah,
all have four courses each. It could potentially be overkill, but I'm just pointing that out.
I think Kirby needs one of them based off of Epic Yarn, just for the
That would
aesthetic
be great.
alone. It's like
That would be great.
Ribbon Road in Market 8 has such a great aesthetic. I
I love
love
it.
how it looks. It's how it looks in its original game.
Hmm.
But its appearance in 8, amazing.
Definitely, definitely. They could do a Woolly World stage too.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. We can get a Woolly
Woolly
World
slash
Crafted World
crafted.
stage.
Hmm.
You can get something that's like in the living room of Chibi Robo or Nintendogs, where you're just like, oh, here's all these blocks and giant creatures. Oh god, I'm going under the couch.
Nice. Yeah, and people really like the recent Mario Kart stage in the bathroom that I'm forgetting, the squeaky clean sprint.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
that's a cool looking one. I haven't got,
yeah,
I want to play the DLC eventually. I just haven't really had a chance, but eventually I'm going to do it. That's what we got like another Yoshi's Island one's like,
yep,
yes.
yep. Yeah, that's so cool. Um, Kirby Midnight. Yeah, I mean Kirby lends itself so well to it too. There's you could do bubbly clouds or the wispy woods areas or the tropics. King DDD, the Mountain DDD has a battle stage.
Yeah.
The Halberd has a battle stage.
Gourmet race.
Gourmet race. Yeah, I mean that would probably be it right there. That would probably be the race course.
You can do something
Um,
based off of the end of Superstar Saga when you're in space.
hmm or Superstar rather. The
Yes.
carnival.
Yes.
Think rat. The carnival from Forgotten Land would be fun as a course.
Yes, Wandaria.
Hmm. Definitely. Kirby lends itself so easily to this like general Mario Kart thing.
Mm-hmm.
More than most. It's really fun to think about. Um, more from your list, I guess. An arm stage would probably lend itself best to a battle course, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. Arms would have to be a battle course. I don't really think it would work
Mhm.
any other place. You could do Cinema Do, Twin Tails home stage. I think that
Mhm.
one could work pretty well. A lot of them I don't think would work super great. Like I wouldn't do Ribbon Ring. I wouldn't do Spring Stadium. Um,
Ramen
maybe
bowl.
Ramen Bowl could work. Also, whatever the hell, I think it's called DNA Lab, Helix's stage. I think that could
Yeah,
work.
yeah, it
I
would.
I'd probably
Nice.
pick either DNA Lab or Cinema Do.
Respectable choices.
Yeah.
Um, I do love me some Helix. Uh, Ring Fit, hard to think about.
Without playing more of the game, nothing really comes to mind. I mean, they could just make like one that just works in like the general Ring Fit aesthetic, and there could be hazards like the little weight enemies are bouncing around to block you. Just call it
Mhm.
the Ring Fit circuit. Boom, there
Yeah,
you go, done.
drive, or you can drive on top of Drago's muscles.
I don't think that's that. I don't think that's it.
Excite
Newport,
Bike is the Excite Bike stage.
yeah.
Sorry.
Newport City.
Excellent. Ness's stage. Oh gosh. I mean, Onet's the obvious choice. Um, Dungeon Man.
I
Something like
mean,
that. Yeah.
Magic Ant.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely. That would be really cool.
Yeah, or you could even do Saturn Valley.
hmm True. With Mr. Saturn's just peppering over the road and you can run into him.
Do
um,
do the construction zone
yeah,
from
you could.
original Donkey Kong.
Yes. Yes, actually. But yes, very much so. Very much yes. On a similar note, New Donk City is an
Yeah,
easy stage to turn into. A lot of Odyssey stages would be like a Toscarena theme stage would be really cool.
I'm also surprised at how little in general Mario Kart doesn't pull directly from locations in the Mario franchise. Like every once in a while, you'll have something like Dry Outpost,
hmm
but it is very rare for something to be like directly taken from something else. Like there might be themes, like Choco Mountain is kind of based off of the Choco levels in Super Mario World, but beyond
hmm
that, it's a mountain.
Yep.
Moo Meadows, it's a meadow with cows. Water park, it's just a fucking water park. It's not very often that they pull directly from something, and I kind of wish they would lean into that a little bit more. Like I like the
hmm
originality, but I'd also like to see these classic locations be turned into
Yeah,
things.
you rarely see it outside of Peach or Bowser's Castle. Which kudos
Yeah,
to the Mario Kart for having Bowser's Castle and not Smash so far. Um, and then you don't really see it much beyond that. You do get what am I thinking of here? I mean, recently Yoshi's Island was included as DLC.
yes, and it
Uh,
definitely pulled this design from the Super Nintendo game, and I love it.
Definitely,
We,
definitely.
we have Luigi's Mansion as a battle course.
hmm And as a regular race course, and yeah, and Delfino Plaza gets a stage kind of too.
Which
Um,
which one?
I'm forgetting the name of it. It's Delfino something rather.
I don't think
It's
it's
from
in.
D.
It doesn't look like it's in 8. Maybe it's in like 7 or Wii.
Yeah, it was in the DS game, and then kind of moved on from there.
DS,
Um,
DS or 3DS?
DS, and then it moved on to some other games as well. Like I'm not sure which right now. Um, yeah, I'm trying to remember the other instance of it, but I know there was that. Oh yeah, Dry Outpost, like you said. Isn't it weird that the one time they
Tick tock
reference
clock!
Oh yeah.
Ah, here it is, Delfino Square. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Delfino Square, TikTok Clock, and the other one that I just forgot again.
Yeah.
Yeah, those three. Cool. TikTok Clock was so cool to see as well.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, Mario. I mean, again, like you said, there's so many ways to pull into it because they often go for like unique courses. But for the sake of it here, I mean, like Luigi's Mansion, the hotel from 3, whatever that's called, I forget, but that could be something.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. The Scare Towers or whatever. Princess Peach's birthday cake from Mario Party would be a fun course.
Ooh, yes. I mean,
Yeah.
we kind of have something very similar to that with, what's it called here? Sweet Sweet Canyon and then Sweet Sweet Kingdom. They're
Hmm.
Very similar in essence,
Hmm.
but I think there's room for Peach's birthday cake. Fuck it.
Yeah. Throw in the uh, flowers and call it a day.
Oh no,
The strawberries.
those are not nice strawberries.
They are not. Um, Professor Egad. I mean, Luigi's Mansion is a natural place to pull from, but again, Mario Party gave him a whole like intergalactic garage to work with.
Mm-hmm.
Go there if you want to be unique with him.
Yeah.
Not that he's on either of our rosters here, which is a shame, but oh well.
Yeah.
Wario, uh, Wario Land stages. Do something from Shake King. Do Great Pyramid from Wario Land 4
Glitter
or
Town.
Wario World.
Glitter Town.
Glitter Town, yeah, do Glitter Town. Like kind of a similar aesthetic to Wondaria, but more like Vegas-y. That would be pretty
Yeah,
cool.
it's very Vegas.
From Shake It, an underappreciated, really awesome game. I really hope I truly believe we'll get another Wario Land because it's just one of those things until it could be like, screw it, we can put it out and make a little bit of money in off season at some point.
Give it to
But
Retro.
yeah, make it worthwhile. It's been over 10 years. It's more than time.
Yeah. Retro, Way Forward, Mercury Studios, any of them could do really good with a Wario game.
Hmm. That we haven't even had Shake It ported to anything is like crazy.
Yeah.
It would have been so easy. It's such a good game. Uh, more more weird sports things and memorabilia things based off of Waluigi. We got Waluigi Pinball. Now look out for Waluigi's horse race.
Give us something based off of Mario Mix DDR. I don't know how that would work,
Hmm.
but like Dance Club.
Yeah, there was a game that I wish I had videos from way back in those days because if I did, I would have a video of Trevor shaking it to get away from a chain chomp.
Oh god.
And he did so well too. Like it was like a 0.5 second thing. Good for him. Um, yeah. Any other thoughts on courses or items or
I'm kind of running dry. I'm looking at these characters. I'm trying to think of like other things. Like we haven't really said anything from Star Fox, but besides just like race around one of the planets or race through Sector Z. Wait, is Sector Z the one that has that really weird thing that you can enter and there's like that slot machine?
maybe? Maybe it's been a long time since but maybe.
Do
Um,
that. Whatever location that is in the original Star Fox, do that. Or maybe it's 64. One of them. Just do that.
Soria would be really cool.
Actually, yeah, Soria would work.
Hmm.
Uh,
Um,
hmm.
Tricky also was from Diddy Kong Racing, so it would be a nice callback.
No, he's not.
Yep,
That's
Tricky
it.
the Triceratops.
No. Truckee is from Star Fox Adventures. Daycon Racing is a different character.
If you say so.
I do.
Weird that rare name two Triceratops Tricky. How
Yeah.
strange. Yeah. Nice callback. Anywho, a Diddy Kong Racing stage just slapped into the game. There you go.
Yeah. Like that. Like they're both called that, but they are very different characters.
Yeah, one's just some angry guy. And
Apparently,
then
it
the
was
other
the
one,
original. It was the original intention for them to be the same character, but they changed it.
they
Apparently,
they
it was changed when Dinosaur Planet became a Star Fox game.
weird.
Yeah.
Weird in general. Like what would make that well, okay.
I
What
mean,
would make the difference with it being Fox,
because it would be weird to have the same character in Donkey Kong and in Star Fox.
Okay. Does that mean Crystal would have been a Donkey Kong character?
It means that Crystal in Dinosaur Planet would have been the same planet as Donkey Kong and Mario, which would have been weird.
It would have. It would have. That's very strange to think about. Almost cursed, you might say.
Hmm.
Ice climbers, you can throw an icy and it freezes people.
Yeah.
Yep.
Although
Uh,
that's yeah.
you can
What are
throw a
others?
claptrap around and it could be a honing item.
Or it could be something like the banana peel.
Hmm. Yeah, that's true. It could be the wind-up claptrap from Donkey Kong Jr.
Another stage. We need a Rainbow Road equivalent. And there's one obvious choice.
Yes,
Final Destination.
indeed.
It will still be very, Rainbow Road y, and then it's like, okay, you're driving through space / the cosmos, whatever the fuck you want to really do it, dimensions, fuck it, who cares?
Hmm.
But just with the title of Final Destination instead of Rainbow Road,
Yeah,
and you'll see like
definitely.
Master Hand flying around or something.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. Master Hand, Crazy Hand,
The meme,
Taboo,
Master
Darkon.
Core.
Oh god, Master Core could be a stage in itself.
I mean, yeah, you could do Subspace as a stage even.
Yep, you could. The World of Light as a stage.
Yeah.
There you go. A battle course called Battlefield.
Yeah. Yeah.
There you
With
go.
sandbags littered around that you can hit.
Yep. Master Hand Kart.
I mean, that's disturbing.
And a Crazy Hand one, and they both move.
It's worse than Ochi. You could have Green Hill Zone. Oh fuck! Wait, no.
Yep, that's a whole other can of worms that I'm glad we didn't go into.
Yeah. If we did though, Pac Mates as a battle course.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck yes.
We'll save it for Super Smash Kart 2.
Maybe in 3, 4, 5 years.
Well, until then, I will certainly keep the memories of this fine, established roster share
Okay.
episode between
Um,
us.
what's it? You could do other things that are like we don't have characters for. You could do Sea Island from Star Tropics. You could do what are the fuck the place
Mhm.
is called in Captain Rainbow. Uh, one of the lighthouses from Golden Sun.
Captain Rainbow. Birdo's not in this game, but you can have one of Birdo, like a Birdo-centric item.
But Lip is.
Oh, yeah. You can have a
Uh,
lip-centric item instead.
I don't really know what you do for Punch Out, unless you just do like
The ring is a
the
course
boxing
battle.
ring as like a small boxing as a small battle course. I guess that works. Uh, what's the other thing that we ignored? Wii Fit. I don't think there's anything you can really do with Wii Fit.
You throw the Wii balance board at people to affect their size, like the
I mean,
Mii's.
you could do
Just
the
kidding.
balance sport because we've had some weird battle courses in Mario Kart. Like there's the GameCube that you can race up. You could do the Wii balance board as a battle course, but much like GameCube, you can drive over the side, so you have to be careful. And that's it. It's
Yep.
just oddly shaped, and you can go over the edge. And that's Wii Fit balance board as a battle course.
Yeah, it works. At the very least, it works.
Mm-hmm.
Woohoo Island would be a just bring it back, and there you go too.
Something from Astral Chain would be pretty fun.
That would be pretty cool. Yep.
Just like
Mock.
the aesthetic of that game would be completely different.
It would be. It would be jarring, and that would be why it would be cool and interesting.
Yes.
Mock Rider. Mock Rider. The stage Mock Rider, just like the stage Excite Bike.
Yep. Works for me.
How exactly that would work? I mean, you're throwing around. You have barrels coming at you. Maybe it's a game like pole position, so have the course operate like pole position.
Similarly, Wave Race.
Yes. Race on the waves with your friends indeed. That would be really interesting. And with
Yeah.
the markers on the course to kind of guide you where you're going, and you don't have. I've never been great at wave race because of that,
Yeah.
and but I feel like it can execute it pretty well for a kart stage. um, yeah, interesting stuff. But
There's a lot of cool places you could go.
mm-hmm. As far as like items go, there's like 1.5 million to pull from Kid Icarus and Splatoon.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Uh, Repel from Pokemon, yeah, would protect you from items.
nice. Yeah, simple but effective.
You could even like if
That
you
works
have it
very
active
well.
and you bump into another racer, they can get bumped further than they would normally.
Mm-hmm. Cool. You can use the Deku Nut pretty much exactly as it works in Smash.
Yeah.
Bomb Shoe, same idea. You can have the Triforce be an item. Collect all 3 pieces, and then you can make a blue shell effect happen to everyone.
That's a lot.
Yeah, but it's the Triforce.
Uh, yes, yes, it is. Hmm. Okay.
You can have an armored turret from Xenoblade 3 and just shoot people with a giant shield.
Or the turret from Star Fox Guard.
Yeah, you lay them on the stage, and then they'll hit your fellow driver.
Ooh.
That would actually be cool.
Ooh. Here's an idea. From Ring Fit, Ring.
Oh,
You
nice.
like pull races that are in front of you closer to you.
Hmm. That would be great. That would be great. I like that idea.
From arms, I would do either one of the boomerang arms, or I would do like the gusher, and how it just like it
Hmm.
plops forwards, hopping several times, and it kind of like leaves these
Yep.
little goo puddles that will spin you out.
Yep. Nice. Um, Stuff from Kirby Air Ride. The dragoon. The dragoon could be an item still, or it could be no. That could be a cart.
I
Dragoon
would.
could easily be a cart.
I mean, Dragoon, you could have that be essentially what replaces the Bullet Bill.
Also true. Also true. Um, Apparently you can throw Gordos around in Kirby Air Ride. I guess that could be something. The Super Horn could technically be the Mike from Mike Kirby.
Yeah. You could do Lip dropping one of the blocks from Panel de Pon, and it just serves as like a blockade.
Yeah, that's true. Easily could. There's not a whole lot else you can do. Lipstick would. I don't know how well that would work in a cart setting. I guess you can
I
hit
mean,
people with it and it would
it
scramble their
probably
control.
you just have it be a lipstick, but does the block effect instead of the flower effect.
Yeah, that works. That's true. That's true. Um, you can throw the frisbees from Duck Hunt, Game
Yeah.
B.
The fire keys from Ganon could be the replacement to the red shell.
Also true. Um, Dead Man's Volley. Let's see here. And then you can Lucario can use Shadow Ball on people, I guess.
Chibi Robo could zip lash. It's a tether. It latches on something and it just pulls him forwards, straight towards
Nice.
whatever it is. Like you could use it on a wall to pull off some kind of weird bank shot.
Hmm. Yeah, easily so. I mean, that would be a one way to give that world redemption, I suppose. Now, how do we loop Hey Pikmin into it?
Well, you one of the items is just throwing a Pikmin.
Okay, that works. um, and the Ochi card, of course, the Poochie card, the Yarn Poochie card.
I feel like Pikmin should get two stages. By the way, one of them is one that like goes through the cave, but another one is just like actually on the overworld, and like you can have enemies that'll be running on the course. Like maybe a Bulbor will try to eat a cart.
Yeah, that would be great. That's what I imagine too. Um, Plessy cart. cart like Plessy that with dead eyes.
You have problems, sir.
Yeah, I do. Um, a Bowser's Fury course.
Ooh, that could be interesting.
Yeah, it would.
Or do Bowser's Inside Story and race inside of Bowser.
Yep, and then play as Bowser inside of Bowser.
Bowserception.
Hell yeah. um, so much you can do. I mean, maybe a WarioWare stage would work somehow. I'm not really entirely sure.
Yeah, outside of like just having it be Diamond City, I don't
Hmm.
know what else you do with WarioWare stage. Uh, unless you want to, I don't know.
Diamond City would be such a good pick, though. Like, yeah, as a course or as a battle stage, that would be great.
Yeah,
Hmm.
or like inside the company and there's like mini games that are playing out.
Yeah.
I don't really know how that would work too well, but
Hmm. Something to workshop on the Smash Kart wiki.
oh god,
Imagine if that were the new project.
no. I know what I want to do next as a big project and improvement. It's just going to take a Herculean effort.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I don't really want to go into it because I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it happen. But
Hmm.
I have something I really want to do with the wiki as a whole.
Interesting. Okay.
But we'll see. I want to try and look at it more next year. But
Gotcha. Cool.
for now, I'm kind of running dry on immediate ideas. Do you have
Mhm.
anything else in mind?
I'm sure that as soon as we're done here, I'm probably going to think of something and be like, ah, damn, could
Oh
have
yes,
mentioned it during the podcast.
a classic
But
issue.
a classic issue. The only thing that I can think of now is a magic eraser.
Doodle Bob?
So close, and it's not Mr. Clean either. Using the magic eraser would simply permanently remove a Lear from the roster.
Ah, yes, I see. Unfortunately, that doesn't exist, and Alira's canon.
In one faction of the multiverse.
Uh, well,
Well, yeah, I'm running dry too.
all right. In that case, we'll go ahead and draw things here to a close. I think we have some interesting roster choices. It was a good
Mhm.
discussion. Um,
Mhm.
I know I lose multiple points for a particular choice on mine, but I like to think that, my arguments make sense even if they are not wanted, and that's fair. But that is our final on topic of the season. Next time on Supercast Brothers, we're doing our final Smashtopia character. And as we usually do, we like to make two completely separate things from each other and we present it. But this time it's going to be a little bit different than usual.
Mhm.
And you'll see how that shakes up when we get there.
We will be shaking it.
Indeed. All right.
All right.
Well, with that, we will see you all next time. Bye, everyone.
A mighty fun episode. Goodbye.